They are a secret network of international pirates who identify with no nation, no national flag, and no established religion. Their flag is the skull and crossbones, and their god, G-O-D, spells gold, oil, and drugs.
1, 2, alright. Yeah. That's right. Live from the belly, they got me behind the fence. I run shit from the inside, the fucking president of the infamous gang. Get away from my stank. I got that icky cotton picky shit that had you days. I'm a quadruple OG, a old soul, call me the reincarnation of the pharaoh with an OE. In a barrel full of hot lead, shoot a pothead. Talking that shit about hip-hop dead. Now it's live from behind the gate, permanent smiley face. Any nigga stunning on the guard, now you out of place. I beat a lot of cases, had to take a L. I see you in the hot set, yep, hold it down. Money is worthless, real power is people. Real strength is in the street where everybody's equal. Fuck jury, fuck rims. Let's spend on our protection. Get armor, get cameras. Get with it, little nigga, this man shit. Real power is people. Real strength is in the street where everybody's live from behind the wall. Sitting staring at the wall. I'm fit to pop out this bitch like a newborn. I'm fit to cut out all the smoking and the drinking, the wine and the spirits. It's evil when you think it, baby, so I'm telling the truth. You live it, then you see it. You breathe it, then you bid. I tell you, little secret, it's a secret. Government that worship an owl. They practice witchcraft to harness their power. Pedophiles rape little kids for energy. It's satanic ritual. WTC, R.I.P. They lit the Pentagon on fire. That's lighting the pentagram on fire. All these bodies for what? So you can scare everybody in the one world, huh? All my crimes is on deck. So if you ain't come for a war, then run. Money is worthless, real power is people. Real strength is in the street where everybody's equal. Fuck jury, fuck rims. Let's spend on our protection. Get armor, get cameras. Get with it, little nigga, this man shit. Real power is people. Real strength is in the street where everybody's equal.
Yo, 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 another day in the beast system slave matrix. What's good, folks? Shout out to Prodigy, an OG.
Is that possible? Is that possible? It could. Is it possible, ladies and gentlemen? It is possible. He has been shot. And another man, and possibly shot in the head, has fired the shot. He has fired the shot. He still has the gun. The gun is pointed at me right at this moment. I hope they can get the gun out of his hand. Be very careful. Get the gun. Get the gun. Get the gun.
Yeah, Prodigy, folks. Nobody doing it like Prodigy no more. I don't think I got to show this one last night. It's a short one. Some of you have probably seen it already.
Plantar las ideas de la libertad en un foro que está contaminado de la agenda socialista 2030 y que lo único que va a traer es miseria al mundo.
¿Cuál es ¿en qué va a basarse la decisión del día viernes? ¿Cuál es el objetivo?
Que la libertad es la llave de la prosperidad.
¿Cuál es el sentido de la reunión que estaría ya lleva a tener la audiencia del viernes?
Seguir hablando y dejándole bien claro de la convicción que tenemos en este cambio de rumbo que ha marcado el nuevo gobierno.
Muchas gracias.
So yeah, a lot of people think this guy is like some type of, you know, resistance of some sort. Good to see you, Jackie. Good to see you. I had some slave news. I had some Davos optics updates and whatnot that I didn't get to show last night that I meant to, some of them, and then also some of them I found recently. as in today. But first, slave news. I think you can trust the Hill. Everyone can trust the Hill. Almost 2 million subscribers on YouTube. Yeah, very trustworthy. Listen to what they have to say. Davos elites plan to bomb their way to peace. WEF promises new order. And I can't see the thumbnail, but the thumbnail was like Musk and Zelensky and oh wait, that's not the first one I wanted to show actually. I wanted to show the Fox one. Jesse Waters. Davos is now a debaucherous insane asylum. And there's another one you could trust. Fox 666 News. Very trustworthy.
The meeting of the minds goes back to the ancient Greeks, when philosophers like Aristotle and Socrates used to gather in what they called agoras, a space where philosophy and business and politics were discussed among some of Athens' best and brightest. These meetings generated a cauldron of ideas on how to organize society and achieve happiness. But today, when the so-called brightest minds get together, it's nothing but a debaucherous insane asylum. This week, thousands of the world's most elite executives and politicians jetted off to Davos, Switzerland for the World Economic Forum. Besides January 6th, it's their favorite day of the year. At the party, sociopaths indulge in the highest quality caviar, endless champagne, and psychedelic mushrooms. And where there's drugs, there's sex. It's the busiest week of the year for Swiss escorts, $700 an hour or $2,500 a night. Rates were.
Is this just to add to the lore, or is this for real right now? Hold on, one more time. One more time.
There's sex. It's the busiest week of the year for Swiss escorts, champagne, and psychedelic mushrooms. And where there's drugs, there's sex. It's the busiest week of the year for Swiss escorts, $700 an hour or $2,500 a night. Rates were much lower when Trump was president. Thank you, Bidenomics. You can almost smell the magic of the place when you're there, is how one well-connected regular describes the week. But of course, the magic isn't for everyone. It's an invite-only event. So you have to be somebody just to get through the door. And if you're in, guests are slapped with wristbands and divided by class. White with shiny blue means you're a VIP. Plain white, married to a VIP. Green, you're a VIP's escort. Not that type of escort. They don't get wristbands. At Davos, everyone feels special. But before they get to business, they have to break the DEI ice.
My spirit name is Ozawa Mapwa, which means brown bear in Ojibwe. My father is Algonquin Métis and Irish. My mother is African Jamaican and Indigenous Jamaican. So I get to bring these intersections and these lenses to my work.
And coming as a white man of advanced age from a continental European background.
Inclusion is about see me and hear me and make space for me.
And so we should all be doing this because you can make a profit. Inclusion is profitable.
Oh, so once they get through the spirit names and the white shaming, Davos gets to the heart of the issue. So of course.
Okay, so we watched, I'm guessing you're going to cover this. We watched this already last night with the shamanic ritual, what they're calling a shamanic ritual anyway. Yeah, but let's continue. We got to hear from Jesse.
Of course, they bring in the guy who invented the internet.
The fossil fuel polluters.
Oh, and Mr. Gore. Gotta love Mr. Gore. I got a great clip from Mr. Gore here, actually in the back chamber, saying some pretty interesting stuff about how social media is bad because people go down rabbit holes. Let's listen to that one more time before we continue this, just to give him a cross context.
To one based on broadcasting and then moving on to the internet and to social media has disrupted the balances that used to exist that made representative democracy work much better. Because a free, self-governing people rely on a shared base of knowledge that serves as a basis for reasoning together collectively. But if you have social media that is dominated by algorithms that pull people down these rabbit holes that are a bit like pitcher plants, these algorithms, they are the digital equivalent of AR-15s. They ought to be banned. They really ought to be banned. It's an abuse of the public forum. But when people are pulled down these rabbit holes, you know what's at the bottom of the rabbit hole? That's where the echo chamber is. And if you spend too much time in the echo chamber, what's weaponized is another form of AI, not artificial intelligence, artificial insanity. I'm serious.
Right.
I'm serious.
Exactly. See, he knows what he's talking about, folks. You know, an echo chamber of theorists and dangerous misinformation and really just borderline terrorism, if you want to get down to it. Let's continue. Let's hear what he has to say at Davos. Brings out their mascot. Davos brings out their mascot, this says. Okay. Interesting.
Use a portion of their wealth from giving
dead things from the earth and burning them in ways that destroy the future of humanity. They use some of their wealth to confuse people. I get a little exercised about this because I've watched it for a long time, and it's driven by pure greed. Pure greed. If we deploy electric vehicles, solar, wind, batteries, green hydrogen, and the rest, and we get to true net zero, temperatures on the earth will
I would imagine, Patrick. I would imagine.
Gore's worth $200 million, and his greed is infinite because he's making money to save the world. The men who make money building the world, they're greedy. They should go bankrupt and be arrested for climate crimes. How'd Gore get to Davos? Not their futures, your future.
That order seems to not be the order anymore. We are on the way to a new order, so we are between orders.
A new world order. So what will that look like? But the point is, you have nothing to
I would say the new world order, right? Because the new world order has been talked about for decades now. So
be worried about. Well, unless you like to eat.
In most of Asia.
And some would say much longer than that, because how long has it been on the dollar? The Novus Ordo Seclorum on the back by the pyramid. I would say a lot longer than that.
Rice is still grown with traditional methods, which requires flooding the fields. And when you flood the fields, you basically kill the weeds with water, which sounds good, except it takes huge amounts of water. They basically decompose underwater, and when they do that, they release methane. And so actually rice production is one of the largest producers of methane, which is many times more toxic in terms of greenhouse gas emissions.
Rice is like the top crop in the world. What are they going to replace it with? Lab rice. Yum. Now, so what are the farmers and the fishermen going to do? Well, they don't need jobs because they'll be arrested.
We have a kind of cultural, very ingrained habit of not taking damage to nature as seriously as we take damage to people and property. If you're campaigning for human rights, at least you know mass murder, torture, all of these things are serious crimes. But there's no equivalent in the environmental space. With ecocide, what we see is actually what people are trying to do, what businesses are trying to do is make money, is farm, is fish, is do all of these things that are producing energy and so on. What's missing is the awareness and conscience around the side effects, around the collateral damage.
Imagine you're taking your son fishing this weekend, got your lines in the water. Next thing you know, you're in handcuffs for ecocide. Those fish have constitutional rights. And if that doesn't work, we're still not at net zero. You get slapped with a carbon footprint tax.
These people are disgusting. Some people would say, I would probably concur.
I would say digital and sustainable need to go hand in hand. And what do I mean? There are initiatives like we are driving as industries, Catena X, where we are trying to measure the footprint throughout the value chain. And what would that give us? I would have a bottle like this, and I could tell you from the iron ore to the logistics to the glass, what is the carbon footprint of this bottle? And then I could price it. And I could tell you, now you are doing good because you now pay 20 cents more, but you are very conscious that you have a green product.
No, James Bond villain, no. I have a hunch their products like jets, escorts, and shrooms will be exempt from the carbon footprint tax. So forget about cheap gas, rice, and protein. You're not entitled to that. You're also not entitled to an opinion.
Disinformation is a security threat. And maybe not many noticed, but it was part of the Russian military doctrine that they will start information war. And we are in it now. And disinformation is a very powerful tool. We are focusing on improving of the system where the people will get the facts right. We don't speak about opinions. We are not correcting anyone's opinions or language. This is about the facts.
Oh, the old CIA Jedi mind trick. Label everything that gets in your way, like Trump or the truth, as Russia disinformation, which is a national security threat, and so therefore must be destroyed by the all-encompassing power of the national security state. Question the election or the effectiveness of electric cars, now you're a national security threat. And you're on the list like the parents who raise their voices at school board meetings. So, you know what just would make everything much easier? If we just stop resisting and submit to mind control.
Bringing the kinds of sensors that people have become accustomed to, such as rings and watches, into everyday devices, but it breaches the final frontier of privacy. That is what people are thinking and feeling. Initially, what they will be capable of doing is very high-level brain state reading. Things like, are you tired? Are you paying attention? Is your mind wandering? Are you happy or sad? They maybe enable interaction like up, down, left, right.
So slap some sensors on your forehead and let Davos read your thoughts. And if we're angry at Davos, up, down, left, right, now we're mellow. Don't you see? These are well-intentioned people. The people that brought us the first pandemic are now hard at work preparing for the second.
There are things that are unknown that may happen. And anything happening is a matter of when, not if. And that was when we gave the name Disease X.
So, I mean, this is just about as talked about, I would say, as the 19 was before the 19 kicked off. Coming up on the 4-year anniversary here in less than 2 months. And this is all the talk now. So, interesting it would be coming up on the 4-year anniversary, considering 4 is the number of death associated with death, and like Patrick was pointing out earlier on the simulcast I was doing over there on Paul and Slave's stream, it's also a number associated with Saturn. So people are Saturnists, some would say. Yeah, they worship Saturn, and hence why the days are all revolved around Saturn. Well, Saturn Day is anyway, but everything seems to be centered around Saturn, especially the symbolism, all the logos, etc. What's on the docket? I don't know. Slave world order optics, pretty much.
Disease X is a placeholder for unknown
and some music, of course.
Disease. You may even call COVID as the first disease X.
Are you trying to say that TCC joined a panel at OTW? Because that's pretty awesome.
And it may happen again.
The guy who covered up the Chinese lab leak is getting his ducks in a row for the next Chinese lab leak. We're in good hands. How do I know? Because John Kerry said so.
I am convinced beyond any doubt that because of the decisions being made in the marketplace now, because you know as well as I do, even if, you know, I don't want this, obviously, but if you wound up with a different president who was opposed to climate crisis, I got news for you. No one politician anywhere in the world can undo what is happening now. It's the biggest transformation in the economies of the world in all of human history.
Did John Kerry just say saving the
Thank
world
you,
is a
medic.
business opportunity? So if Kerry's wrong and the world doesn't need saving, is it still a business opportunity? But if you say Kerry might be wrong, that's disinformation because it threatens his business opportunity, don't you see? So you either shut your mouth, don't ask any questions, or the FBI is going to have a word. Why would we even doubt Kerry, even if he got his facts wrong? Kerry's a man with a facelift who married a ketchup heiress. He's got it figured out. He must know how to improve our lives. He improved his. No, Kerry's improving his life at the expense of yours. This is about extracting humanity from the...
You know what's funny is like this is the most mainstream media I've watched. Like, well, I said this last night because last night was actually the most mainstream media I've watched in like I don't even know how long. So I don't know why I'm even entertaining it, but it's like, you know, you try to make a show out of how unsane rather, the world is, and the fact that you know people are watching this and they're gobbling it up and they're actually like internalizing it, you know, thinking this is real. And that we don't just give as much power to them as they don't have as much power as we give them. Yeah, I mean, they are magicians after all, but at the same time, and they do belong to bloodlines. But at the end of the day, I'd say the most power lies in us and how much power and, you know, how much we give away of our own sovereignty. You know, and it starts from the, well, what Wizard would say is the enumeration at birth, right? Were you born into a spell of illness?
The human race. This is about...
Let's listen to more Jesse. I just really trust this guy. He's just, you know, he's all dressed nice. He's a trustworthy guy. You could tell.
Wrestling control.
Definitely not reptilian.
Of the land, sea, and air away from you. So they can make you dependent on their food grown in their labs, put you in their cars, make you take their drugs, submit to their machines. They're putting the human spirit out of business. And they're right. It's a great business opportunity. It's vulture capitalism. They're preying on our bodies and won't be satisfied until they've picked our carcass clean. We were told the New World Order was just a conspiracy theory. Mind control, disinformation police, food and viruses from a lab.
I mean, you could say it's... Okay, let's hear that one more time. I mean, you could say it's all that, no? I might say. Come on.
They're putting the human spirit out of business. And they're right. It's a great business opportunity. It's vulture capitalism. They're preying on our bodies and won't be satisfied until they've picked...
I haven't heard that one. Vulture capitalism. I'm going to have to remember that.
Our carcass clean. We were told the New World Order was just a conspiracy theory. Mind control, disinformation police, food and viruses from a lab. So prime time's now decided next year. Mind control, disinformation police, food and...
All right, so mind control...
We were told the New World Order was just a conspiracy theory. Mind
Let's
control,
take the,
disinformation
I guess
police.
you could say, some might say you just take the theory part out of there. Keep the mind control, keep the information police, 1984 optics, you know, Convid 1984 to be more specific. What else did he say there was?
Our carcass clean. We were told the New World Order was just a conspiracy theory. Mind control, disinformation police, food and viruses from a lab.
Right. Some might say that. Some might say that they get dropped in planes as well. Some might say they're put in the food, air, and water. Some might say they're put in damn near just about everything, right? Some might say.
So prime time's now decided next year. We're taking the show to Davos. We have to see this thing in person.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe
Yeah,
to Fox
Sean
News YouTube
Hannity.
page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.
Smoking. What else do we? I can't do that right away. I can't go right into more slave news. I need like some type of break or something. You know? How about a quick one from Tucker? Tucker and Jones. AJ. You guys will like it. It's great. It's good stuff.
Is the single most censored man in all American history. Deplatformed. Alex Jones was deplatformed before it was a common term.
Right. Well, we got to keep the disinformation and misinformation at bay, you know, to a minimum. So we got to have these private discussions with Tate and Musk and Jones and Carlson and Vivek, et cetera, very trustworthy people, not controlled in any way, shape, or form, obviously. All opposition, not controlled opposition, just and And yeah, they're with the white hats, from what I've heard, and they're gonna end the slavery, and they're gonna end the evil. They're gonna take down the New World Order. They're gonna drain the swamp, with the help of Trump, of course. This is what I've heard. Some might believe this. I might. I also might not at all in any way, shape, or form. Let's continue. Sorry. Got a song.
Who joins us now in our studio.
I
see you, enemy. You are my enemy. He is your enemy. I see you, enemy.
So we thought it'd be interesting to start with a series of on-tape predictions that you made, some of which are so precise and so prescient that makes the hair on my arm stand up.
This guy, the spirit, this smiling, leering devil that thinks you can't see what he is. I see you, enemy, enemy, enemy. You are my enemy. He is your enemy. And I swear total resistance to you with everything I've got. You think I don't see you, Stelter? I see you. You understand me? I know what you think of me and my family. I see you right back. You understand that? You understand that, Stelter? I see you, enemy. You are my enemy. He is your enemy. I see you, enemy.
So people say, well, why is he so angry? Well, it's because he's literally trying to take us off air, literally taking our sponsors. I see you, I know what you're doing. So I'm pissed off about it. And so there he is, all sweet and liberal and cackling and laughing, but he's really an agent of anti-American totalitarianism. So he was the front man of that, and I wanted to just simply say, you're right. This uncircumcised Philistine, who does he think he is?
Think I don't see you, Stelter. I see you. You understand me? I know what you think of me and my family. I see you right back. You understand that? You understand that, Stelter? I see you, enemy. You are my enemy. He is your enemy. I see you, enemy.
What's interesting is, after dinner, you and my producer called Stelter. What was so interesting was he was very kind of syrupy sweet with you.
That's why I was sarcastic and told him I wanted to date him.
You did. In fact, the exact line that you had was, Brian, I'm not usually gay, but I want you. You've been very clear in a very direct, pretty masculine way, I would say, about how you feel about Brian Stelter. There's not a lot of confusion about your views on Stelter. And he seemed a little bit, I'm not saying he's open to it or whatever, but he wasn't shocked.
He's like, give me your phone number.
Think I don't see you, Stelter. I see you. You understand me? I know what you think of me and my family. I see you right back. You understand that? You understand that, Stelter? I see you, enemy. You are my enemy. He is your enemy. I see you, enemy. You
Now listen, if you have not subscribed to YouTube channel, do it right now. Do it today. And all you have to do is click the big red subscribe button.
So she asked in chat if we saw Jack kick Chuck after Grove Flake said something about Jack. And he's saying he would give Chuck back his donos 2 times. Oh my god. Optics are high. Optics are high. So high. Bless his heart. Yeah. I don't know. I like Joe Cool's more. Do we have that? Do we have that remix? Let me see if I have that. Little Joe Cool to break the ice too wouldn't be. No, I don't think I got that. That's too bad. That is too bad. But you know, Jack's out here saving lives, so you guys gotta just respect my daughter.
Well, I
Jack
appreciate.
Talcott helped save my life. He did.
Right. What would we do without the optics? That is a good question. So Luciferians got to flip the child stuff on the Malokians because they were both involved in the thing. They pushed on everyone, weakening their immune system for the implants. So yeah, allegedly, sir. I don't know what we do without optics. Visuals, yeah, we'd be blind. We would trip everywhere. We need a walking cane. I mean, I don't know how Stevie Wonder does it, but then there's the theory that Stevie Wonder was never blind. So let's not go there. We're not gonna go there yet. I need something other than mainstream though to break the ice. This was a trending video. Oh, and then I have some Russell Brand, guys. I have some Russell Brand, so don't worry. We're gonna get to some more like fringe stuff, not just the mainstream stuff. We're gonna go to Russell Brand. Definitely not part of the Aldo Brandini family. Definitely not in the black nobility. Definitely not top tier controlled opposition. No, not at all. All right, we're gonna watch this one first. The speech that broke the internet, or this speech, yeah, this speech just broke the internet. Let's see. It's this guy who was supposedly, people were saying opposition at WEF, and somehow people don't get how there would never be opposition.
Today I am present to inform you that the Western world...
Keep in mind, I haven't watched this yet, so this will be the first time. This is a reaction video, folks. People love reaction videos. Yeah, this is... Should I put my face on screen here? Hold on. Yes, I should. Reaction video to whoever the fuck this guy is. I've only seen clips.
The world is facing a significant threat. It is in danger because those who are supposed to defend the values of the Western world are co-opted by a world that inevitably leads to socialism and consequently to poverty and economic deprivation. Unfortunately, in recent decades, motivated by some well-intentioned desires to help others and others by the desire to belong.
So this is all AI translated from Spanish to English. But supposedly you can find the original in the description of this video. So, and it's not hard to look up. If you probably just look up WEF speech, it'll be one of the
in recent decades, motivated by some well-intentioned desires to help others and others by the desire to belong to a privileged caste, the main leaders of the Western world have abandoned the model of freedom for different versions of what we call collectivism. We are here to tell you that experiments are never the solution to the problems that afflict the citizens of the world, but rather they are their cause. Trust me, there is no one better than us Argentines to provide testimony on these two issues. When we embraced freedom in 1860, in 35 years, we became the world's first dominant power. 35 years, we became the first world power. While when we embraced collectivism over the past 100 years, we saw how our citizens began to systematically themselves until they fell to the 100th position in the world, 40 in the world. But before we can have this discussion, it would be important for us to first look at the data that supports why free market capitalism is not only a possible system to end world poverty, but also the only morally desirable system to achieve it. If we consider the history of economic progress, we can see how from year zero until around 1800, the world's per capita GDP remained practically constant throughout the reference period. If one looks at a chart of the evolution of economic growth throughout human history, one would be seeing a chart with the shape of a hockey stick, an exponential function that remained constant for 90% of the time and exponentially shoots up from the 19th century. The sole exception to this stagnant history was at the end of the 15th century with America's discovery. Except for this, from year 0 to 1800, global per capita GDP remained stagnant without any significant changes. Now, not only did capitalism generate an explosion of wealth from the moment it was adopted as an economic system, but if one analyzes the data, what is observed is that growth has been accelerating throughout the entire period. During the entire period between year 0 and 1800, the per capita GDP growth rate remained stable at around 0.02% annually. That is, practically without growth. From 19th century, with Industrial Revolution, growth rate reaches 0.66%. Given the current rate, it would require a time span of approximately 107 years to achieve a twofold increase in per capita GDP. In 1950, growth rate rises to 1.66% annually. 50 growth rate rises to 1.36% annually. We no longer need 107 years to double per capita GDP, but 66. If we take the period between 1950 and the year 2, we can see that the growth rate was 2.1% annually, which would mean that in just 33 years, we could double the world's per capita GDP.
Ah, in just 33 years, you say? Ah, really interesting. Speaking of, right, Alex Jones equals 33. But on another note, yeah, I mean, that's just a coincidence, I'm sure. Shout out to a dozen in the chat. Let's hear that again. That little bit.
We need 107 years to double per capita GDP, but 66. If we take the period between 1950 and the year 2, we can see that the growth rate was 2.1% annually, which would mean that in just 33 years, we could double the world's per capita GDP. This trend, far from stopping, remains alive even now. If we consider the period from 2000 to the growth rate increased again at 3% per year, meaning we could double our per capita GDP globally in only 23 years. Now, when studying per capita GDP from 1800 to today, what is observed is that after the Industrial Revolution, global per capita GDP multiplied by more than 15 times, generating an explosion of wealth that lifted 90% of the world's population out of poverty. We must never forget that by the year 1800, about 95% of the world's population lived in extreme poverty, while that number dropped to 5% by the year 2020, prior to the pandemic. The conclusion is obvious. Far from being the cause of our problems, free market capitalism as an economic system is the only tool we have to end hunger, poverty, and destitution throughout the planet. The empirical evidence is unquestionable. Therefore, as there is no doubt that free market capitalism is superior in productive terms, the left's doxa has attacked capitalism for its moral issues, for being, according to them, as its detractors say, unjust. They claim capitalism is bad because it's individualistic and collectivism is good because it's altruistic towards others. And thus they strive for social justice. But this concept that has become trendy in the developed world, recently, in my country, it has been a constant in political discourse for over 80 years. The issue is that social justice...
What do you mean? How is the line out of the O's? It's still there in the O's. You don't see it? What do you mean, sir?
This is unfair and doesn't contribute to general well-being. On the contrary, it's an inherently unfair idea because it's violent. It's unfair because the state is financed through taxes, and taxes are collected coercively. Or can any of us confidently say that they pay taxes of their own free will? This implies that the state is funded through coercion and that the higher the tax burden, the greater the coercion, leading to a reduction in freedom. Those who promote social justice start from the idea that the economy as a whole is a
Yeah, kind of giving Austin Powers kind of vibes. Definitely, I could see that.
Cake that can be distributed in a different way. But that cake is not given. It is wealth that is generated in what, for example, Israel Kirshner calls a market discovery process. If the good or service that a company offers is not desired, that company goes bankrupt unless it adapts to what the market is demanding. Create a high-quality product at a good price or attractive, succeed and produce more, so the market is a process of discovery where the capitalist finds the right direction on the go. But if the state punishes the capitalist for success and blocks him in this process, it destroys his incentives. And the consequences are that he will produce less and the cake will be smaller, generating harm to society. Collectivism, by inhibiting discovery and hindering appropriation, ties the entrepreneur's hands, preventing him from producing better goods and offering better services at a better price. How can it be then that from academia, international orgs, politics, and econ theory, an econ system is demonized that not only has lifted 90% of the world's pop out of extreme poverty and does so increasingly faster, but is also fair and morally superior? Thanks to capitalism, the world is currently in its best moment. There has never been a moment in history with greater prosperity than the one we live in today. Today's world is freer, richer, more peaceful, and more prosperous than ever before. This is true for everyone, but particularly for those countries that are free, where they respect economic freedom and individual property rights. Because free countries are 12 times richer than repressed ones. Saying goes that in countries with freedom, people live better than 90% of population in repressed countries. It has 25 times fewer poor people in the standard format and 50 times fewer in the extreme format. And if that weren't enough, citizens of free countries live 25% longer than citizens of repressed countries. Now, in order to understand what we come to defend, it is important to define what we mean when we talk about libertarianism. To define it, I take up the words of the greatest proponent of the ideas of freedom in Argentina, Professor Alberto Venegas Lynch, who says that libertarianism is the unrestricted respect for the life project of others, based on the principle of non-aggression and in defense of the right to life, liberty, and property, whose fundamental institutions are private property, free markets without state intervention, free competition, division of labor, social cooperation, where one can only be successful by serving others with goods of better quality at a better price. In other words, the capitalist, the successful entrepreneur, is a social benefactor who contributes to the well-being of society as a whole. In short, a successful entrepreneur is a hero. This is the model that we are proposing for the future of Argentina, a model based on the fundamental principles of libertarianism, the defense of life, freedom, and property. Now, if free market capitalism and economic freedom have been remarkable instruments to eradicate poverty globally, and we are presently experiencing the most favorable period in human history, it is worth inquiring why I assert that the West is in jeopardy. I argue that the West is in...
I'm sorry, sir. How does that even make sense? I guess stopping smoking trees after like 20 years does. I don't even. How does that make sense? You're just you're just Patrick, dude. It's just you, man.
Endangered, as in countries defending free market.
It's called natural tryptamines and bicarbolines, making your consciousness wacky.
Private property and other institutions of libertarianism, sectors of the political and economic establishment, due to errors in their theoretical framework and ambition for power, undermine libertarianism, opening doors to socialism, and potentially condemning us to poverty, misery, and stagnation. Because it should never be observed that socialism is always and everywhere impoverishing, failed in all countries where attempted. It was a failure economically, it was a failure socially, it was a failure culturally, and it also killed more than 100 million human beings.
Let me guess, does it have to do with EMCO? You better not say it has to do with EMCO. Does it have to do with the electromagnetic pulse phenomena? They have ears but don't listen. I didn't drop the link yet, did I? All right, well, we just hit 33 minutes, 33 seconds. I haven't dropped the link.
The main problem of the West today is
My
that we not only have
apologies,
to confront
brothers
those
and
who,
sisters.
even after the
I
fall
don't
of the
know why
wall
that
and
happened.
overwhelming evidence, continue to advocate for impoverishing socialism, but also our own leaders, thinkers, and academics who, sheltered in a misguided framework, undermine the foundations of the system that has given us the greatest wealth and prosperity in our history. The theoretical framework I am referring to is neoclassical economic theory, which designs an instrument unintentionally functional to the intrusion of the state, socialism, and the degradation of society. The issue with neoclassicals is that since the model they fell in love with doesn't match reality, they attribute the error to the supposed market failure instead of revising the premises of their model. On the text about a supposed market failure, regulations are introduced that only generate distortions in the price system that hinder economic calculation and consequently savings, investment, and growth. This problem essentially lies in the...
So my question would be, when do you think it's coming, Salty? Do you think it's coming when Mr. Brashears thinks it's coming, but that it's just different than he describes it or explains it? Or, yeah, do you have an estimate when you think when it might be coming? I'm curious to know. You've probably said it before if you do.
Fact.
And I just forgot.
That not even supposedly libertarian economists understand what the market is, since if it were understood, it would quickly be seen that it is impossible for there to be such a thing as a market failure. The market is not just a graphical description of a supply curve and a demand curve on a graph. The market is a mechanism of social cooperation where property rights are voluntarily exchanged. Thus, considering this definition, discussing market failure is a contradiction in terms. There is no market failure if transactions are voluntary. The only situation in which there can be a market failure is if there is coercion present. And the only one with the ability to coerce in a generalized manner is the state that possesses the monopoly of violence. Consequently, if someone considers that there is a market failure, I would recommend that they check if there is state intervention in the middle. If no state intervention found, suggest reanalyzing, as it is definitely wrong. Market failures do not exist. An example of the alleged market failures described by neoclassicals are concentrated structures in the economy. However, without functions that demonstrate increasing returns to scale, whose counterpart are the concentrated structures of the economy, we would be unable to explain the phenomenon of economic growth from 1800 to the present day. Look how interesting. Commencing from the year 1800 and extending onwards, with the population experiencing a multiplication of more than 8 or 9 times the per capita income.
Some might say that, Mr. Secret. Many would say that, actually. Allegedly.
Underwent a growth of more than 15 times in magnitude. To clarify, there are more returns. This caused poverty to drop from 95% to 5%. However, the presence of increasing yields implies the existence of concentrated structures.
This is the thing about about me that you don't understand, Mrs. Cheap Girl, okay? I got a lot of books, okay? Long, thick books, all right? And these books tell me things that you will never understand. All right? And so in 2040 to 2046, I surmise that there will be a Phoenix event that will change the face of this earth as we know it. Do you understand, you fucking maggot? All right, let's continue.
Which would be referred to as, for example, a monopoly in the market economy. How can it be that something that has generated so much well-being, according to neoclassical theory, that is considered a market failure? Neoclassical economists think outside the box. When the model fails, don't get angry with reality. Get angry with the model and change it. The dilemma for the neoclassical model is that they aim to enhance market functioning by targeting perceived failures. By doing so, they not only open doors to socialism, but also undermine economic growth. For instance, implementing regulations on monopolies, dismantling their profits, and of increasing returns would inevitably annihilate economic growth. In other words, each time you want to correct a presumed market failure, inevitably, due to not knowing the market, or because you have become attached to a failed model, you are opening doors to socialism and condemning people to poverty. However, in the face of the theoretical demonstration that state intervention is harmful, the empirical evidence that it failed because it could not be otherwise, the solution that collectivists will propose is not greater freedom, but greater regulation, generating a downward spiral of regulations until we all become poorer and the lives of all of us depend on a bureaucrat sitting in a luxury office. Given that,
or like Danny Brown would say, it's the downward spiral got us suicidal, but too scared to do it, so these pills will be the rival.
A resounding failure of collectivist models, and
I wouldn't say that. I'm not on pills. I'm fucking sober, and it feels amazing, folks, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters. It feels amazing. It's an amazing January 2024. Shout out to you guys.
The undeniable advances of the free world, socialists were forced to change their agenda. They left behind the class struggle based on the economic system to replace it with other supposed social conflicts equally harmful to community life and economic growth. The first of these new battles was the ridiculous and unnatural fight between man and woman. Libertarianism already establishes equality between sexes. The cornerstone of our creed states that all men are created equal, that we all have the same unalienable rights granted by the Creator, among which are life, liberty, and property. This radical feminism agenda has led to increased state intervention, hindering the economic process. It provides jobs to...
It's so interesting when they mix like 100% facts with just a bunch of nonsense, talking about feminist like this and New World Order that and totalitarian and tyranny this, and then but then they are completely bought and paid for top to bottom. Yeah, it's just amazing. It's amazing, brothers and sisters.
To
the levels of just insane deception stacked on top of each other.
Who haven't contributed anything to society, whether through women's ministries or international organizations promoting this agenda. Another conflict that socialists pose is that of humans against nature. They argue that humans cause harm to the planet and that it must be protected at all costs, even advocating for population control mechanisms or supporting the controversial agenda of abortion rights. Unfortunately, these harmful ideas have strongly permeated our society. Neo-Marxists have managed to co-opt the common sense of the Western world. They achieved this through the appropriation of the media, culture,
So he describes them as neo-Marxists. Okay, neo-Marxists. Interesting. One book I've never read, but I would be interested, not out of genuine interest in it myself, rather to educate, but the Karl Marx book. What is that? The Communist Manifesto. I've only seen bits and pieces of it, but supposedly it is quite a read, as to be expected, right? But anyway, let's continue.
Have managed to co-opt the common sense of the Western world. They achieved this through the appropriation of the media, culture, universities, and yes, even international organizations. The final case is very serious, as it involves institutions with huge influence on the political and economic decisions of the countries in these multilateral organizations. Fortunately, more of us dare to raise our voices, as we see that if we don't confront these ideas head-on, the only possible destiny is more state, more regulation, more socialism, more poverty, less freedom, and consequently, a worse quality of life. Unfortunately, the West has already started down this path. To many, it may sound ridiculous to suggest that the West has embraced socialism, but this view is only ridiculous if one limits themselves to the traditional economic definition of socialism, which states that it is an economic system where the state owns the means of production. In my opinion, this definition needs to be updated to reflect the current circumstances from my perspective. Today, states don't need to control means of production to control every aspect of individuals' lives. With tools such as monetary issuance, debt, subsidies, interest rate control, price controls, and regulations to correct alleged market failures, they can control the destinies of millions of human beings. This is how we have reached the point where, with different names or forms, good parts of the politically accepted offers in most Western countries are generally collectivist variants. Whether they openly declare themselves as communists, fascists, Nazis, socialists, social democrats, national socialists, Christian Democrats, Keynesians, neo-Keynesians, progressives, populists, nationalists, or globalists. In the end, there are no substantive differences. Everyone argues that the state should control all aspects of individuals' lives. All define a model contrary to the one that led humanity to the most spectacular progress in its history. We are here today to extend an invitation to the other Western countries to resume the path towards prosperity. Economic freedom, limited government, and unrestricted respect for private property are vital for economic growth. The impoverishment that collectivism produces is not a fantasy, nor is it fatalism. It is a reality that Argentinians have known very well for at least 100 years. Because we have already experienced it, we have already gone through this. Because as I said before, since we decided to abandon the model of freedom that had made us rich, we are trapped in a downward spiral where we are getting poorer every day. We have already experienced it ourselves, and we are here to warn you about what can happen if Western countries, who became rich with the model of freedom, continue on this path of servitude. The Argentine case is the empirical proof that regardless of wealth, natural resources, population capability, education level, or the amount of gold bars in the central bank's coffers, these factors do not guarantee success. If measures are adopted that hinder the free functioning of markets, free competition, free price systems, if trade is hindered, if private property is attacked, the only possible destination is poverty. To summarize, I want to convey a message to all entrepreneurs present and those who are not, but are following us from around the globe, whether they're here or not, physically. Don't be intimidated by the political caste or the parasites who live off the state. Don't yield to a political class that only wants to prolong its power and preserve its privileges. You are social benefactors. You are heroes. You are the creators of the most extraordinary era of prosperity we have ever experienced. Don't let anyone say ambition is immoral. If you are—
I mean, just honestly, for a second, imagine somebody who's against the agenda, right? On the stage in Davos giving a speech. Just like think about that. Just think about that for a second. It's just to make it oh my god. Oh man, I meant to go fucking unpause, not to the last video.
The meeting of the minds goes back to the
darn
ancient
it.
Greeks. When
Hopefully it picks up where it left off.
Today I am present to inform you that the
man.
Western world is facing a significant threat.
Where were we at here?
More returns. This caused poverty to drop from 95% to 5%, generating a downward spiral of regulations until we all become poor. Abortion rights. Unfortunately, these harmful ideas have strongly permeated our society. Neo-Marxists have managed to names or forms, good parts of the politically accepted offers in most Western countries are generally collectivist variants, whether they openly declare themselves
collectivist variants. Interesting, like wording we're using here, terminologies to really, get it into the group consciousness. Just maybe I'm reaching here, but
as communists, fascists, Nazis, socialists, social democrats, national socialists, Christian Democrats, Keynesians, neo-Keynesians, progressives, populists, nationalists, or globalists. In the end, there are no substantive differences. Everyone argues that the state should control all aspects of individuals' lives. All define a model contrary to the one that led humanity to the most spectacular progress in its history. We are here today to extend an invitation to the other Western countries to resume the path towards prosperity. Economic freedom, limited government, and unrestricted respect for private property are vital for economic growth. The impoverished—
Sir, now that's Carl with a K. Okay, get it right, all right?
That collectivism produces is not a fantasy, nor is it fatalism. It is a reality that Argentinians have known very well for at least 100 years. Because we have already experienced it, we have already gone through this. Because as I said before, since we decided to abandon the model of freedom that had made us rich, we are trapped in a downward spiral where we are getting poorer every day. We have already experienced it ourselves, and we are here to warn you about what can happen if Western countries, who became rich with the model of freedom—
Don't you love how he said, and we are getting poorer every day? Sir, I don't think you're getting poorer every day. I think quite the opposite. If I had to take a guess, right? Let's hear that one more time.
Ourselves, and we are here to warn you about what can happen if Western countries, who became rich, abandoned the model of freedom that had made us rich, we are trapped in a downward spiral where we are getting poorer every day. We have already experienced it ourselves, and we are here to warn you about what can happen if Western countries who became rich with the model of freedom continue on this path of servitude. The Argentine case is the empirical proof that regardless of wealth, natural resources, population capability, education level, or the amount of gold bars in the central bank's coffers, these factors do not guarantee success. If measures are adopted that hinder the free functioning of markets, free competition, free price systems, if trade is hindered, if private property is attacked, the only possible destination is poverty. To summarize, I want to convey a message to all entrepreneurs present and those who are not but are following us from around the globe, whether they're here or not physically. Don't be intimidated by the political caste or the parasites who live off the state. Don't yield to a political class that only wants to prolong its power and preserve its privileges. You are social benefactors. You are heroes. You are the creators of the most extraordinary era of prosperity we have ever experienced. Don't let anyone say ambition is immoral. If you earn money, it's because you provide a superior product, better price, contributing to well-being. Do not yield to the advance of the state. The state is not the solution. The state is the problem itself. You are the true protagonists of this story, and know that from today, you have Argentina as an unconditional ally. Thank you very much, and long live freedom, damn it. Thanks.
Okay. Long live freedom, damn it. You heard that at the end? And long live freedom, damn it. Like, man, it's just, let's continue. I don't even, we need a break. I need a break. Did I drop the link? I dropped the link if anyone wants to come up. But yeah, it's just slavery, more and more slavery. It's kind of hard to even entertain sometimes. But I'm trying to do a broadcast here, so we're going to look at the slavery. That's what we're going to do just about every time we go live, probably, at least at some point. Except when I maybe just do pure music streams. I just don't want to see any slavery at all. I'm not interested to see what's going on in the world. Okay, so I have this video downloaded from, where did I get this again? Can't remember. Yeah, I don't remember where I got this. But just some optics anyway, right? These are the two known, allegedly still alive members of the Grand Druid Council. Don't get scared, okay? It's gonna be all right. Not trying to fear porn here. It's gonna be all right. I'll hug you. Daddy loves you. Scary music, but it's gonna be okay. So allegedly, this is allegedly, but allegedly, Paul Houston's a traditionalist, apprenticed under Dr. Raymond Buckland, handpicked by the Rothschild. He's allegedly a Druid witch who has written several witchcraft books and allegedly leans towards Satanism and says the only initiation required is saying the Lord's Prayer backwards 3 times. Let's continue. So this is supposedly Yvonne Legino Collins, which is John Todd and Lance Collins' sister. I don't know who Lance Collins is, but if you know who John Todd is, he was a very he seemed to be an outspoken kind of like whistleblower on the occult and whatnot. But he himself was at one point quite deep in it himself. So people question his authenticity as being a excommunicated or just, ex-occult initiate, and that he's not actually just still in the occult. Much like people question many say Satanists, for example, people like Mark Passio, of course, and others, just to name one. I was just tapping into his live earlier, actually, and I pretty much agreed with most everything that he said, so I'll put that on the record. But for whatever it's worth, I honestly wonder how much some of these people, much like Passio, are actually actively engaged in status correction, or if they've opted out of the system in any way. That's something I'd be curious to know. And I think everyone would like to know, but when questioned about it, I'm sure they tend to dodge. But anyway, so this was supposedly John Todd's sister, a traditionalist from or who lived or lives in Lynchburg, Virginia, and she replaced John on the Grand Druid Council. For those of you who haven't heard the Grand Druid Council, don't worry, I'm just starting to do research into them lately, so it's just become relevant to me recently. Prompted the Security and Exchange Commission investigation of Thomas Road Baptist Church, which created severe financial troubles there. She's still in control of political activity, and is considered to be very powerful and very dangerous. Be very scary. Scary music, going in your ears, going in your brain, making you feel insane in the membrane of your brain. Something you want to change, feeling like you got cocaine all up in your sinus brain, man. Well, this is a pretty rudimentary little graph here, but the financial power of the Illuminati, it's pretty cheaply made here. But the Rothschild at the head, and then you got the Committee of 300, and then Rockefeller, DuPont, and Kennedy, next to the World Bank, Chase Manhattan Bank, Bank of America, First National Bank, Federal Reserve System, European banks, the World Common Market, and then underneath, the oil companies, Standard Oil, Montgomery Ward, Sears, Shell Oil. I meant Shell Oil. Mobil, Safeway, Union 76, General Motors, Ford, Federal Department Stores, Kmart, Pennies. I'm not sure what this is. JC Penney. So you got your Council of 13, you got your Council of 33, you got your 500, which I'm pretty sure go by a different name than the 500, but I could be mistaken. You got your CFR, Council on Foreign Relations, you got Trilateral Council, although I've always known them to be Trilateral Commission, but okay. Democrats, Republicans, United Nations, FBI, CIA, OSI, CI, Communist Party, Right Wing, John Birch Society. Yeah, right-wing groups, John Birch Society. Let's continue. Anyway. Oh, yeah, you got your KKK and your, I have to, remove the banner, I guess. Yeah, American Nazi Party. All right. Interesting clip, I have to say. People need to manifest and cultivate and direct their energy during their totality. Yeah, mostly eternal slaves will be drunk and manifesting a low vibrational energy. Circumcision likely had a different meaning. Interesting comments here, folks. Interesting comments. So I have more slave news. While I catch up on the chat. Yeah, that's a good way to put it, sir. A revelation of the method, for lack of a better terminology. Let's see here. Let me take this out of the chamber. Actually, before I played that, why don't we watch one from Elusive Truths? Because I haven't checked him out in a while, and He was gone for a little while. He got a strike for hate speech for pedo maps. I don't know what that's about, but we're going to check out a couple videos from Mr. Elusive Truths. And we're also going to watch the Beyond the Reset short film. Hopefully that's okay. Copyright, there's not, won't get fucked with for copyright type shit. But yeah, let's check this out. Pedographs. And then we'll maybe get some more Remix Bros, because I know Salty loves her Remix Bros.
A simulation of reality right now.
Whoops. Did I fuck up? Yep, I did. Man, what did I do here?
How do you know you're not living in a simulation of reality right now?
That's all I know.
All right, this might be an extremely random video. He tends to put together some random videos sometimes, but they're always thought-provoking. That's for sure.
That's all I know.
Rumors spreading round in that Texas town. About to sack outside the game. And you know what I'm talking about. Just let me know if you wanna go.
Oh man.
To that home out on the range. They got a lot of nice girls. That makes sense. Well, yeah, it's fine. Well, yeah, it's fine. If you got the time.
One more time. What is this picture on the right? Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. It's not real, is it? That looks. I mean, folks, just think about this for a second. Like consider this.
Well, yeah, it's
like this is real, allegedly. Do you know where you are right now? That's what I'd be asking if I was down there. And those, I mean, that's amazing. Floor 1, economic services. Floor 2 for Earth employees. Floor 3 for a laboratory of relative. Okay, sorry. Floor 1, import and economic services. Floor 2, residential complex for Earth employees. Floor 3 for laboratory of relativistic physics. Floor 4 for psychotronics. Is that really what that says? Psychotronics laboratories? Oh my. I don't know if 4, 5, and 6 say. Floor 7 for alien power plants and cryogenic storage. Fascinating. And then on the top right, I see Philip Schneider, Thomas something, UFO hunters. What in the world? I'm not sure how this ties into. Well, okay, let's just continue. Oh, I see. There's a craft on there. I didn't even see the UFO there. A couple UFOs. Okay, interesting.
fine. Well, yeah, it's fine. If you got the time.
I don't know what we're looking at here. A poster, but obviously the towers, the plane going in, but then it's got 2023, so I'm not sure. Looks like the dragon there, like for the year of the dragon. Maybe.
I'm not telling to get yourself in.
Wow.
People are asking what this cage of tin foil and metal is all about that's around me. It's a Faraday cage. A Faraday cage is a cage which emits no signal, and no signal can enter. And you can see here, it's all around, including the floor, all metal, and the ceiling. Why am I doing this? Why am I going to this trouble? Oh, in addition to the Faraday cage, we have an 8-channel scrambler, which you can see here, I hope, which prevents any signal from getting into this room or leaving this room, just in case the Faraday cage fails. Why am I doing this? Because I am an escaped slave, a slave to the system that escaped, and I have a loud voice. You think you're not slaves, but you are. The 9 to 5 existence of your current lives.
What do you guys think? Legit, not legit? I mean, are we going to forget about the Illuminati card game deck? I don't know. What do you think? Do you think the Illuminati card game is not legitimate proof that John McAfee was controlled opposition? What do you think? Let's see. Is it here? Where is it at? Where's that one at? Let's see if we can find it here. Are we going to pretend this game doesn't mean anything? There's the Trump one. Enough is enough. Where's it at? Where's the John McAfee card? Come on. Of course, it'll show everyone but the one I'm looking for. Well, there's a John McAfee card. It's basically my point. So, do we just pretend that's not a thing and think that this guy's... Again, but even shills tell the truth, right? Oh, there's your Julian Assange one right there. There's your Julian Assange one. So, how many people are still thinking Julian Assange is on the people's side, or at least isn't co-opted? Well, I can't find it now, so I should have found it. I should have looked for it beforehand. That's on me. But I think there's a way to check out the whole deck actually. Yeah, all the cards in the full deck. But there are different decks. That's the thing. What do you guys think of John? Oh, here you go. McAfee being in the Illuminati card deck. And when the Surfside condos came down, what was that, last year, the year before? On Ron DeSantis's 9-month and 11th day of his age that year, and they showed the Twin Towers when they were showing the news and they were showing the ripped apart building. They showed a room way up, halfway up, that had a poster of the Twin Towers in it, and they zoomed in on it. Of course, I have a poster of the Twin Towers over my bed, so But my point is, so if there's ever a plane that goes through my roof, like Donnie Darko, right after doing the Donnie Darko episode, be extremely ironic. I dropped my headphones there. But what I'm saying is, if that would ever happen, and my room was torn in half, and all you saw was this here, then you probably could take a wild guess that they're trying to show you something. Yeah. So, what do you guys think of this? Let's see. There's no comments, so there's an empty thread. Oh no, there's 7 comments. My fault. Oh, talking about Oracle. A bunch of people were central figures in making the PC and the internet. Maybe 10 of us made an impact that was enough to be noticed as a major player. I stayed completely... Leaked everything like the Google search engine too. McAfee made the virus checker, and it was free to use unless you owned a business. Bill Gates reverse engineered DOS and created MS-DOS. Larry Ellison made a database that Microsoft could not mess with by creating his own Windows and his own controls. Let me put this out here. His own controls and not using Windows functions, but that they could change, fucking him up. Oracle in use by business. There were other major players, but Microsoft was in league with the NSA and bound and determined to control the web browser. We were using Netscape, and one day on their site it crashed, and the message was, this program has performed an illegal operation and will be shut down. I looked at the code, and the illegal operation was that it was Netscape browser. I reported it to everyone, and that started browser wars. Browser wars. This is hacker language. This is like, hacker nerd language to me. I'm not very familiar with it. But did you know that America spent all its money trying to control the internet and failed? They risked everything to do it, and now are bankrupt. Let me see. Oh, cool. We got a link in here and everything. See that? See that, people? So we'll check that out. Let me drop that over here. No, wait, over here. There we go. And then let's continue this here. More of McAfee.
Is structured by. You think you're not slaves, but you are. The 9-to-5 existence of your current lives is structured by the American industrial corporate complex, complicit with our government. You need to free yourselves from this, not as me. You don't have to go out and risk yourself by speaking out loud, but free yourselves. This is not what life is. This is not what life is. Life is a great mystery, a glorious, unbelievably mysterious, beautiful existence if you are free from those who control you, provide you with propaganda, lie to you, deceive you. Everyone is looking for this escaped slave. I will not be found, and I will continue to speak. Thank you for listening.
One more from Elusive.
If I were the devil.
Whoa! Okay, wait. What do we got going on here? What do we got going on here now? So, is that supposed to be Michael Jackson waving at Lil Nas X? Is that what we're doing right now? Is that what we're doing? That's how we're living. Okay, got it.
If I were the devil.
So it's MJ like doing his moonwalk. So I guess they're in heaven, right? And here's Lil Nas X, or whatever this thing is with the sex necklace. This is just, what am I doing here? Why am I still here?
If I were the Prince of Darkness.
Like they want to make it so unbearable to be here that people want to just leave, Like they want the good ones to want to leave, I guess is what it is.
I'd want to engulf the whole world in darkness.
There you can see he's got what looks like the Templar cross.
And I'd have a third of it.
Much like how Lil Uzi's always wearing the Templar cross.
Real estate and 4/5
or has it on his tongue or whatever.
Of its population, but I wouldn't be happy until I had seized the ripest apple on the tree. So I'd set about, however necessary, to take over the United States. I'd subvert the churches first. I'd begin with a campaign of whispers. With the wisdom of a serpent, I would whisper to you as I whispered to Eve, do as you please. To the young, I would whisper that the Bible is a myth. I would convince them that man created God instead of the other way around. I would confide that what's bad is good and what's good is square. And the old I would teach to pray after me, Our Father, which art in Washington. And then I'd get organized. I'd educate authors in how to make lurid literature exciting so that anything else would appear dull and uninteresting. I'd threaten TV with dirtier movies and vice versa. I'd peddle narcotics to whom I could. I'd sell alcohol to ladies and gentlemen of distinction. I'd tranquilize the rest with...
So these are the Nikes that Lil Nas X had that were... Supposedly there were 666 pairs, individually numbered. They were $1,018 a piece, 1,018. Like Luke 10:18. If we had Mr. 6079 Smith W, he could give us the full breakdown there on the 1018 or the 118. But one thing I remember is how, if I'm not mistaken, Takeoff died at the 818 bowling alley. but the Luke 10:18, I kind of forget. But supposedly these shoes had a drop of blood in each sole. So 666 pairs with a drop of blood in each sole. Contains, it says contains 60 cc's of ink and 1 drop of human blood. So yeah, it's good stuff. Good stuff, folks. Gotta love it. Gotta love to see it.
If I were the devil, I'd soon have families at war with themselves, churches at war with themselves, and nations at war with themselves, until each in its turn was consumed, and with promises.
And again, we have to remember, like, they can just say this shit. So when people see, man, these shoes sold out, and I mean, I know a lot of you, I don't even need to say this, right? But they sell out in 1 minute. It's like, man, like everyone wants them. Then again, I really wouldn't be surprised at the same time. I mean, 666 pairs, it's not a lot. If there really are even half as many people as they say there are, even if there's 4 billion people, even if there's 2, really, then yeah, they would sell out immediately. So I wouldn't be surprised.
Until each in its turn was consumed, and with promises of higher ratings, I'd have mesmerizing media fanning the flames. If I were the devil, I would encourage schools to refine young intellects, but neglect to discipline emotions. Just let those run wild. Until before you knew it, you'd have to have drug-sniffing dogs and metal detectors at every schoolhouse door. Within a decade, I'd have prisons overflowing. I'd have judges promoting pornography. Soon I could evict God from the courthouse, then from the schoolhouse, and then from the houses of Congress. And in his own churches, I would substitute psychology for religion and deify science. I would lure priests and pastors into misusing boys and girls and church money. If I were the devil, I'd make the symbol of Easter an egg and the symbol of Christmas a bottle. If I were the devil, I'd take from those who have and give to those who want it until I had killed the incentive of the ambitious. And what'll you bet? I couldn't get whole states to promote gambling as the way to get rich. I would caution against extremes in hard work, in patriotism, in moral conduct. I would convince the...
Is this real, brothers and sisters? I mean, really, honestly, is this the world that we're living in right now? Is this... Should I not say we? I guess I shouldn't say we, because, I mean, okay, you know what? It's not the one I'm living in. This is the one that they're putting out there, that they're broadcasting to the world and trying to make it seem like we're living in. But, folks, I'm living in a much different one, myself. And again, I'm in the world, but not of it. These people are not in the world at all, apparently, and are of it. So, I don't know. That's about
the young that marriage is old-fashioned, that swinging is more fun, that what you see on TV is the way to be.
And what I mean by that is that they're, some might say, demonic spirits, reptilian, some might say, archon, spirits that come from somewhere else. I don't know. Some might say that.
And thus I could undress you in public, and I could lure you into bed with diseases for which there is no cure.
So again, with, great time to pause it. Perfect time to pause it there. Let's not forget Lil Nas X, right? Lil Nas X, born in 1999, right? 99, and on the day he dies, on the day of Lil Nas X's birthday, born in 99, DMX dies. His name is Earl Simmons, which equals 99. 9 months and 9 days after that, or rewind, sorry, on that same day that DMX dies, if I'm not mistaken, DMX dies, Prince Philip dies at 99 on the 99th day of the year. Lil Nas X's birthday, born in 99. DMX dies, his name equals 99, Earl Simmons. 9 months and 9 days later is Betty White's death at 99 years old. And then 9 months and 9 days after that, the Queen dies. Queen Elizabeth, I should say, sorry. And then that same New Year's Eve, exactly 1 year after Betty White dies, Barbara Walters dies. And the significance with the BW, Barbara Walters and Betty White, is that it's the second and the 23rd letter, like 223, like 322 Skull and Bones, right before the year of Skull and Bones, 2023, which thankfully is over now. We're now into the year of, some might say, racism, considering 42, 24, 42. 42 is a number associated with racism specifically with black people as they're known by society, melanated folks, such as this Lil Nas X individual. Whether or not this is a real biological quote-unquote human or not, I'm not sure. They might be making these people in labs, but very likely just to sell out to humanity. And all that's ever good and pure is my guess.
In other words, if I were the devil, I'd just keep right on doing what he's doing.
Right. Exactly. Shout out to Nubs Creature. All right, so yeah, that was Elusive Truths. I don't know what this is now. I'm kind of behind on the chat. I like to be caught up with the chat. Yeah, well, maybe they're changing stuff around, or maybe the alignments are shifting and making things look different. But yeah, you know what? Me too, Bex. Better than I have been to in many ways. I'm very, very thankful and grateful indeed. Indeed, sister. Yeah, if I don't say it a lot, I might not say it a lot. I really love you, brothers and sisters. My word. You know what? Let's a message from our good buddy here. I haven't heard him in a bit, and I miss his voice. I miss his voice. Oh wait, this might be the wrong one. No, I shouldn't play this one.
Okay, listen up.
Oh shit, I didn't mean to play
He's
this
still
one.
streaming, so he should be directly in front of the fireplace.
Oh fuck, sorry, Jack. I'm sorry, dude. Damn it.
You got a ballpoint pen or something?
Oh.
Yes.
All right.
All right, keep your heads on a swivel, boys. We don't know what this asshole's capable of. Remember, he's still a domestic terrorist. Go, go, go!
Actually, it's a Skillcraft government pen. I stole it from the Postal Service.
You're gonna have choppers landing on your roof any fucking minute.
I fucking look forward to it.
FBI, open up! Don't fucking move, Talcott! Let's go, let's go! Get him to the chopper!
All right, sorry, just for emphasis. So a little technical glitch there. Shout out to Jackie Talcott. Jackie, we love you, brother. Wizard, we got Dick in there. We got Paul getting beat to a pulp. It's terrible. What's wrong with you people? People are disgusting. All right, what do we got? I don't know who you are, Daddy's secret admirer, but gee willikers, that is a nice avatar. Even if it is anime. Illuminati dung heap, as IPS calls it. Illuminati dung heap, huh? We got a Cash App for Salty if anyone's looking to contribute. It's a $ whacked. So if anyone's looking to contribute to Miss Salty, I already give her enough money as it is, if you know what I mean. My bad. I wasn't supposed to go there. I wasn't supposed to say that. My apologies. We got some in the back chat. That's good to see. Chris is going to get a pick next time, said, when blacks owned more slaves than whites. Okay, you're here. You're in the back. Sorry, I had so many things in the freaking loaded up. I had so many things loaded up here that I didn't even know you were back there, sir. So my apologies. My
I was
apologies.
only got
Man.
there for about a minute or so. Thanks to Becca. She dropped the link.
DLS and DSA, isn't it? What do you think of all the daddy names, sir? Any thoughts?
Daddy names?
Yeah, daddy names.
Oh, daddy names.
Yeah,
I know it's some joke cult thing that's connected to Polly somehow. Some kind of joke or something.
Yeah,
That's all I
Paul
know about it.
enslaved. Yeah. Yeah, he's a dangerous dude, man. Some might say. I wouldn't say that, but some might say that, like Vice.
I mean, if
and
you're
Vice
highly
is trustworthy.
suggestible, he might be. I haven't really heard him say anything dangerous, but I don't really know him that well either. So,
Well, all I know is that Vice is extremely trustworthy, and they're to be trusted. So,
Oh,
they definitely
Vice.
wouldn't lie.
Okay. Yeah, it's one of those
They
mainstream
lie.
media sources, right? What do they call them? Reputable source, right? That's a reputable source.
Exactly.
Huh?
Exactly. Now, how did an hour and 21-minute ASMR programming video get into my playlist?
Oh.
I swear, people, I swear this isn't. I'm not into this. This isn't a thing. So, if you're into this, you might want to seek counseling. To be honest. Wow. This isn't even sped up either. I thought it was sped up. He was typing so fast. I want to put it. I want to speed it up in double speed. Let's see what that's like. It's just gonna be fucking. This is a thing. This is fascinating. The internet's weird. All right. What did I have else here? That was quite a fucked up Lil Nas X video, if I may say so myself. I'm gonna have to add that to some playlists here. Transtopia, yeah. Entertainment.
That's what Beck said. She said that groupthink is like truth now. Can you believe that?
Say what now, sir?
Groupthink is truth now. Like what the group thinks, that's the truth. I
have
think
heard that.
You know, in some instances, you look at that thing, you know, that Fauci ouchie deal.
Yeah, I've heard of it. I'm aware of it.
That's an example there, huh?
It's pretty disturbing, my friend. All right, here's a good one. Ken Copeland speaking in tongues. I hadn't seen this specific one, but man, this is a good one here. Hadn't seen it till today. And man, I just love the premium.
You told me, man, let it say whatever it wants to say. Hi.
Love the premium, not having to worry about the ads. It's pretty great. Pretty great. Short musical interlude, folks. Be right back. Extremely short. If it was any shorter, it wouldn't even be a video.
Just told me, man, let it say whatever it wants to say. Hi. What did I do? Gonna put on my shag like this. Nakorob at the Lumasama. Moragadini, Namakute, and my name said, Gonna put on my shag like this. Nakorob at the Lumasama. Oh, Nakane, Walla Hanana. What another single? I just pray that. Is no kumula stack that cake. Moragadini, Namakute, the Manese, Gorapomala Jagle, Nakorob at the Lumasama. Moragadini, Namakute, the Manese. What the
fuck, man? Good times, good times. All right, so more WA topics in play as per usual. That was just you got to get some relief, comedic relief from Mr. Kenneth. It's always a good laugh from Mr. Kenneth. Always good times. All right, one more. No, we need a break. What do you think?
Yeah, that's a little too much right now. Okay. Only takes
a little too much Kenneth, right? Yeah, too much Kenneth.
My opinion.
How about some Monster Mash? You want to hear Monster Mash? This is a good one I found. I don't even remember how I found it. The Monster Vex. The language is a little bit unfortunate, but folks, I mean, it's like if we can't have some enjoyment in even song form, I mean, I don't know what we can have.
Dr. Fauci, isn't it true that you were working with the Wuhan lab and that you were making money off of the vaccine? Well, Senator, I was waking in the Wuhan lab one night when my eyes beheld an eerie sight. All my patented potion began to rise. And suddenly, to my surprise, we got the vax. We got the COVID vax. We got the vax. It was a graveyard smash. We got the vax. It caught on in the flash. We got the vax. We made a bunch of cash from my laboratory in the Far East to the United Nations where the vampires feast. The sheep all came out with their humble confessions. Get the gem from my injections. They got the vax. They got the COVID vax. They got the vax. It was a graveyard smash. They got the vax. Get caught on in the flash. They got the vax. We made a bunch of cash. The zombies were having fun. The lockdown had just begun. The guests included Klaus Schwab, Bill Gates, and his son. The scene was rock and roll with digging the beat. Bill Gates was backed by his big team sheep. The Mockingbird India were about to arrive. Backed by the group, the Big Tech Five. They got the vax. They got the COVID vax. They got the vax. It was a graveyard smash. They got the vax. Get caught on in a flash. They got the vax. We made a bunch of cash. Outrun the whole Federal's voice to drink. It seems he was troubled by just one thing. He opened the
Whatever happened to the common cold?
It's now the vax. It's now the COVID vax. It's now the vax. And it's a graveyard smash. It's now the vax. Get caught on in a flash. It's now the vax. We made a bunch of cash.
Okay, I think I've heard enough. Dr. Fauci, you are under arrest for crimes against humanity. Guards, take him away.
Oh, no, wait. Klaus Schwab, maybe.
Well, it's obviously not Halloween anymore, folks, but it still feels like it at times when you got WEF optics in play, you know? So,
yeah, it's like
when you got guys like this running around and just talking about the next wipeout, it's going to take everybody to the fucking floor. Everybody's going to go to their bunkers. But, yeah, it's just a strange times in general.
Hey, can we look up like dip tubes, water heater dip tubes, or is that like boring as hell for everybody? That's probably boring, huh?
Doesn't have much to do with the optics, if you will.
That was not. I didn't see tonight's
stream
subject.
title.
No. Screen title, yeah.
Yeah, basically just the slavery going on. Just looking at the slavery and commenting on the slavery, kind of like.
Oh, okay. That video I gave you, that's right up your alley. You know, if you want, if you're not afraid to look.
Where's that at?
It's in the
In
chat.
the back chat. Oh, okay.
Back chat, yeah.
Let's see here. Let's see.
Long, yeah. I mean, I think Nubs would appreciate that. He likes truth, and so does Bex. You know, and the other people, Becca. You know.
Let's see.
Tom,
here.
reparations. We began by talking about disparate impact, the idea that discrimination is so deeply embedded in the American experience.
Oh yeah, Thomas Sowell. Okay, I know about Thomas Sowell.
Even in the
Briefly,
absence
a
of an
little bit.
intention to discriminate. So this argument, which is that there's some basic flaw or sin that's still with us, comes up in the case for reparations. Longish quotation, but it sets something up. But from Ta-Nehisi Coates in an article in The Atlantic entitled "The Case for Reparations." White supremacy is not merely the work of hot-headed demagogues, but a force so fundamental to America that it is difficult to imagine the country without it. And so we must imagine a new country. Reparations is the price we must pay to see ourselves squarely. The wealth gap merely puts a number on something we feel but cannot say, that American prosperity was ill-gotten and selective in its distribution. What I'm talking about is more than recompense for past injustices. What I'm talking about is a national reckoning that would lead to spiritual renewal, close quote. And Tom Sowell makes what of that?
Well, it tells me that I've made the right decision not to read the Atlantic for decades. Slavery is a very big subject. I have in my home an entire bookcase of books about slavery in various parts of the world and various times of history. And the sad fact is that slavery has been a universal institution for thousands of years, as far back as you can trace human history. And what we're looking at,
I don't know that one, Bree.
Happened to one race.
I'd like to know.
In one country, when in fact the spread of it was around the world. In 1776, which is when Adam Smith published The Wealth of Nations, as well as when the United States got started, he said that Western Europe is the only place in the world where there is no slavery. And even the Western Europeans had vast numbers of slaves in the Western Hemisphere, but not in Western Europe itself. And so, if you're going to have reparations for slavery, it's going to be the greatest transfer of wealth back and forth, and between and cross hauling, as they say in the railroads, because the number of whites, for example, who were enslaved in North Africa by the Barbary pirates exceeded the number of Africans enslaved in the United States and in the American colonies before that put together. But nobody is going to North Africa to ask for reparations because nobody is going to be fool enough to give it to them. Here we have intellectuals who can imagine a different history from the rest of the world, even though it's so similar to the rest of the world.
All right, so Davos Elites, that was a good video. You were right. Thomas Sowell's got some interesting videos. Davos Elites. Sorry, go ahead.
So say basically blacks ripped off more, kidnapped more white people than white people kidnapped black people.
That's what I've heard as well, and it's definitely goes quite against the common mainstream narrative, you know. So, but we got Bex in the building. What's up, Bex?
So,
hola, hola, ¿cómo están? How are you guys?
Hey, Bex.
You know, you totally didn't respond to my my greeting in where was it? It was either in Paul's chat or Jack's chat or something. I was like, I just sent some emojis, but I didn't tag you. I just said I typed Bex, so maybe that's why. I usually try to tag people.
Well, and I'm really good. I you know, with a name like Bex, it is pretty easy to scan the chat and see it. I was out here a long time with no channel and my real name, so I'm used to scanning. You have for some reason I overlook blue wrenches sometimes, so I just didn't see you. I didn't see it.
Oh yeah, I know. Isn't that amazing that I have a wrench at Jack Talcott's? So now I have a wrench at Jack Talcott's. I have a wrench at We Are Awake TV. Got Mr. Nubs in the house. Now we got a party going. You know, so it's interesting considering how close I tend to resonate with, I would say, Paul Enslaved more than pretty much any other YouTuber if I had to guess. But then again, I have my energy is nothing like his in the sense of, you know, I don't necessarily do what he does, you know what I mean? And how he does it. But that doesn't mean I can't respect what he does, so, and how he does
100%. I totally agree.
So
yeah.
Yeah,
What
it's
was
like
the
I notice people
emojis?
who haven't truly experienced ego death usually tend to have the most issues. But then again, I think Jack's definitely had experienced ego death, especially with all the LSD he's done. And same with Ian at We Are Awake TV as well, I would imagine. So it's ironic because
I've heard that was gas, allegedly.
oh snap! Let's not get into the gasoline gate here.
Some may say. Some may say.
Some may say. That's hilarious. Hmm.
Hey Nubs, I left you a message down there in the chat. You know,
in the bottom chat or the back chat?
The bottom chat, like where everybody first, you know, like the chat that's not the regular chat. You know, like I don't know how to say it.
Oh,
okay.
I mean? Yeah. Did I miss it?
Yeah, you came up from the other chat into this one. You know, if that makes sense.
Hang on.
Yo, that's funny, Breezy, because believe it or not, the funny thing about that is that I actually have that song downloaded.
The paradigm of absolute control. And that's why we're just out here doing simple things, pointing.
Like you ask for it, and you know, ask and you shall receive. I literally have that downloaded. So shout out to 13 at 1 hour and 33. Alex Jones rants is a indie folk song. It's classic. It's an instant classic.
Now that we're meant to be in nature and be natural, and this is where we find the source that God made to transcend the New World Order. And that's why they want to try to keep us out of it.
I'm angry. I've had enough of these people. They're a bunch of Christian murderers, scum. They're on giant death factories, keeping babies alive and selling their body parts. What more do you need to know about these people? I'll go out and face these scum. They literally crawl out from under us. They have green-looking skin, and they run around screaming, "We love Satan, we want to eat babies." I have them on video. Hillary's in the creepy, weird, sick stuff, man. She sleeps in the same room with that creepy, weird woman whose mother wears a hood over her head.
What the hell?
That woman number one is ugly. Imagine how bad she smells, man. I'm told her and Obama just stink. Obama and Hillary both smell like sulfur. Little blue vampire pot belly goblins are hobbling round coming after us. My spirit gets close to that evil and I feel it go. We're such self-centered crap. We don't even notice hell itself rising up against us. Millions of pointed people of the very worst type, and I'm so pissed. We're gonna stab your daughter at the mall. We're gonna stab your wife, your son. We're gonna stab you with a butcher knife, and then the police chief is gonna say, we love our Somalis, we love our Muslims. Oh, they're so good. Oh, they're so sweet.
All right, so dogs, the frogs, the turn of the frogs.
Watching Fox News, I worked out this morning.
Right.
I have never heard that. That is fucking hilarious.
I would agree, sir. I would have to agree respectfully.
That is borderline epic great.
What do you think of this meme here? Oh, wait, no, not that one. This one here.
Mossad.
I don't know who Molly Maroney is, though. I forgot who that one is. In the height of the slave trade in America, there were more native people going to Africa than coming from Africa.
Wow.
Yep. Absolutely. And the question that I always ask is, where and when did white people arrive? Because like as a large group of people, and that's a very broad group, obviously, they claim it's from Europe, but if you look up the descendants in Europe, like for instance King James, his son was named Little Black Boy. I doubt if he looked like me.
Right.
You know,
never know, though.
By their own account, Abraham Lincoln and George Washington and also Martha Washington and that whole family, they were all Swarty. You know, like, so, and by Benjamin Franklin, what he said when he looked around the town, he said, you know, basically there's more black people here than white people. Well, what was that? It was a German town. It's because they were Swarty Germans. Like, that's where my family lineage goes in. So where and why did the white people come in? That, I guess that's always been my question.
That's a good question. Yeah.
I think
I'd say a better
they...
question. Okay, go ahead. My bad. And then I'll say it to Chris.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think a better question is, how did you come up here, Chris, and not notice your name?
No, I was going to mention that to you. I tried to mess around with changing that, but it wouldn't let me. So I don't know what the hell, dude.
You just got to go to the 3 bullet points by your StreamYard thing, and then press make a audio avatar.
Make a audio avatar. Okay, I'll see if I can find that somehow.
See, edit.
Daddy's little secret. It wasn't necessarily mutants though, because white people have always been here. But I'm saying, when did they come in as a dominant? Like where there were so many of us per se.
There's just never has been. When in the 80s, when I looked up the percentage of white people on the planet as a teenager, right, there was like 10%, and maybe not even that. That's because the definition of whiteness has changed. So you know, there never was, and I don't even want to use the word we. I think that a lot of these words get changed over time, so even we think swarthy has to do with skin color. There's no colors in the Bible. There's Rebecca's children born of different skin, of different texture, of whatever, but other than that, caucus, swarthy, all those things are all things we backwards superimpose based on a historical narrative we've been given that actually supports out of Africa and Darwinism like 100%. So to me, I don't take any of that stuff like circumcision, prostitution, the definition of swarthy, the idea of caucus being a bunch of white people. Like, it's insane
I get where you're
it's
coming
insane to
from.
have, yeah. I truly believe that we were separated in the last 2 world wars, and that Babylon, has more to do with mixing up of languages and segregating people. So we have these confusions where it's like, the core of me is like, I have been here just as long as anybody else, right? And my ancestry, you know what I mean? And to
Which
have
is
these kind
you.
of, yeah, conversations are just like towing a narrative that justifies the other side of the equation's narrative because we're trying to respond to it. When I think ultimately a lot of what happens right now is people want to know people want to know that they mean something, that their history, their person, whether it's the sanity machine going off on a psychotic delusion, or whether it's an entire community of people that can believe that they've been told an entire history, that the Bible is even theirs, some people are believing, and that they aren't being racist by forcing white apologists, by forcing all white people to be white apologists and even having these conversations. But that's just my thoughts. I can engage.
I understand where you're coming from. I think that, like, I get where you're coming from with swarthy. Ruddy would be a better description of a pigment, if anything, as opposed to swarthy, because of where that word came from. I can definitely agree with you there. And I think that the further you go back, I think you're right that the confusion of language didn't necessarily happen when we think it happened. I think that the whole concept of history is completely off, and there's documentation to back that up. It was just put under the rug because nobody wants to see that, but they can't burn the books if they're online.
Wow. And the separation of the languages happened back at the Tower of Babel. Remember that, guys?
Yeah, I wasn't there.
I mean, I was going to say the same thing.
I was going to say, I remember. It feels like fucking yesterday, doesn't it? Being out here in these streets. Confusion.
Well,
Mhm.
even the location, you were talking about the Bible being real and that it's somebody else's. If you look at the definition of the word Hebrew, it means people of the feather. There's only one group of people from 2 continents that I know wear feathers as a headdress. And it's not to, if you look at it, like, we always think about things as in terms of how we were taught. And I think that's what you were touching on, Bex. But even the very size and shape, we can sit here and have arguments about the size and shape of the world, telling us neither side knows a damn thing of whether it is flat, straight, round, or upside down. Because we can have an argument. There's no permanent, I've got pictures that disprove your pictures. Well, so we're still in argument over it. So who's right? Neither one.
Yeah, nobody really truly knows.
Yeah, I wasn't fucking there.
That's right.
I can base it off of my understanding of things, but my understanding is limited. It's limited to what I've been taught or what I have accepted to be real.
What is real?
Yeah, you guessed.
Right.
You demand a proof for everything. That's excellent.
Well, how would you live in life without expecting proofs? In order to get a paycheck in the standard of society, you need to prove that you have done something.
Well, yeah,
maybe
and
not so much anymore.
And what you don't and can't have proof for, that's called faith.
Right. And what is faith but a collection of beliefs that have been acquired by your upbringing?
Kind of. But I think faith is like a secret inside of each side of, if you like, faith is it's almost unquantifiable without that structured framework that one might be like family or religion or whatever, you know. Faith is knowing you have purpose, like just knowing that there's purpose to all of this, you know, and knowing that even if you can't figure out the purpose to it all, that without any name of anything beyond it, just believing that and not believing it, like becoming it, like believing it, like in the future kind of thing. Like, and I don't know, for me, my faith came in an incubator, right? My faith came when I was put in a box, you know, by myself, laying there as a baby with some sense, I'm sure of it, some sense of what the fuck is my last name Skinner? I don't think so. Right? The fuck is going on here? You know, I don't know how else to put it. Like, it's so ingrained in me to not have that hope stomped out of me, that faith is immeasurably, yeah, it's not articulatable.
Speaking of
See, I've always looked, go ahead.
Speaking of confusion, Chris, what happened, man? Now you have no picture. Now you don't even have a fucking letter avatar.
No C or nothing.
I don't know how to mess with that, dude. Like, I got to figure that out.
Maybe
Have you
reload
uploaded? Yeah, go ahead. You guys
reload your browser. But yeah, she was probably going to ask if you've made an account on StreamYard, right? You probably do have to. I think you do have to have an account on StreamYard, yeah, in order to
No,
upload.
I don't think so. No, it's more about.
Or it'll give you one picture. It'll let you. I think it'll let you have one, maybe. Oh, two. Okay, it'll let you have two pictures.
Yeah.
You need to make an
And
account.
sometimes you have to cycle between them because just the way the phone, whatever happens in the memory of StreamYard, the longer a stream is, the more people are on there. Maybe your phone. Just as someone who spent a long time on StreamYard, it can get to a point where my avatar used to like cycle out every 10 minutes or whatever, right? It doesn't do that anymore because I'm not a StreamYard junkie anymore. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
What was that People of the Feather reference? I missed it in the comments. Sorry,
people of the feather smell better, something like that.
It's like people of the feathers, like Indians and some other people, right?
I've met a Seminole like chief or something like that before at the Hard Rock, actually, at the Seminole Hard Rock. Yeah, it was super cool. And then I ended up seeing him on the wall in a picture just recently. This was like probably a couple years ago that I met him, and I just went into a casino not that long ago, and he was there on the wall on a plaque. I was like, wow,
I grew up with a Seminole medicine man that lived behind me and gave me a lot of wisdom and revealed a lot of wisdom and understanding growing up. I have a lot of respect for the Seminole.
Well, it looks like Chris dropped out. I do have a short that I wanted to check.
He probably rebooted his browser.
Probably. This is from Disclosed TV, which I'm sure is totally legit, considering they have a check mark. So they have to be legit. Just in, UN warns 2024 could be hotter than quote-unquote global boiling in 2023, whatever the fuck that is. The fear-mongering is getting sad. TBH is the name of this video. And yeah, it sounds that is the case very much. What's new?
It's getting hot in here.
I forgot this was memeology, so this is going to be the whole video. Wow. Alrighty then. There were a couple memeology videos on.
Rather, they are the root cause.
Stock up on
new?
issues, bingeable TV options. If it's new, key.
How about new?
I could just watch that on loop.
How about no?
All right, you get the point. Yo. Wow. That's good shit.
Do any of us really believe he's the only person that's done cocaine in the White House?
Right.
I feel gay.
Like, I'm sure they
What was
have
that,
a
sir?
dealer on standby straight from
Today I
Colombia.
feel gay.
Today I feel gay. Is that what I'm hearing?
That's what I heard.
Today I feel gay.
Right.
Today I feel gay.
So it says new illegal aliens who are LGBTQ may not be detained anymore under Democrats' new bill as they qualify as quote unquote vulnerable persons, according to Fox. But this is from 9 months ago. Okay, never mind. This is actually from exactly 9 months ago. Interesting.
You can see that it's nighttime. Our defender, whose name is
That was it.
Disgusting sport in this country.
Okay, that was it. My bad. And I got this too here. Let me see where'd it go. Oh man, I lost it. Fuck, what happened? Balls. Well, I got some other shorts at least from the WEF summit here. Good old people over there. WEF panelist promotes AI-powered fact-checking tools to promote democracy. Democracy.
Democracy.
Demo slavery, sir. Demo slavery.
Demon slavery?
Essentially, some might say.
Well, what is a demon but a demand?
What the
Or
fuck?
it's
Why
like
did it go to a
demo.
Cure Mayo video? What's going on? It went to a Cure Mayo video I had in the fucking in my
That's that
queue.
good
That was
shit.
way. All right, here we go. Weird. Protecting democracy against bots and plots. Bots, ops, chops, lops, slop and nop and cop and nop, says Brian O'Shea once
How can
said.
we be working with or developing ourselves the technology to be able to say, this is something that someone actually said, this is something that was actually generated, and I'm going to help you distinguish between one another. That to me feels very much like it is a natural role for media companies to play. And I think we as technologists would be happy to help facilitate that. So I'd be curious what the FP is thinking about in terms of your role about disinformation and finding automatically generated content.
Putting on other hats I've worn in the past, working for CNN or elsewhere, I can speak for those places in saying that they love the technology you're describing. I mean, if the AP or Reuters had access to the ability to fact check and verify in the way you're describing, they would take it. As long as it's affordable and sort of a customizable enterprise solution, they would run with it.
And I think that's the partnership, because I think trying to say that Andre or my company is the one that says what is right or wrong, what is truth or fiction, that actually isn't the place that we're really good at.
Yeah.
We're good at saying, was this automatically generated or not? And I think that we're saying, is this real information or disinformation? That's actually been a role that goes way beyond AI. And that's a role that traditionally the media has stepped up to play. And I think that's the right place for a lot of these questions around this to be centered, with the support of technologists to help you better tell those stories and differentiate truth from fiction. And so if I were running a media company today, I would be thinking about how can we, using the role that we have traditionally played as reporters of what is going on, as the truth tellers in society at some level.
Oh, I'm laughing already, and they didn't even. Oh, I haven't even seen this. Okay. I see. At least I'm not alone. Right on cue. Fascinating. Fascinating. Can't make it up.
Traditionally played as reporters of what is going on.
Actually, I take that back. You can make it up. They're doing it right now. What am I saying?
As the truth tellers in society at some level.
Right.
If the AP or Reuters had access to the ability to fact check and verify in the way you're describing, they would take it.
if you go back really not that long ago, as I say, we owned the news. We were the gatekeepers, and we very much owned the facts as well. If it said we owned the news, we were the gatekeepers, and we very much owned the facts as well. As I say, we owned the news. We were the gatekeepers, and we very much owned the facts as well. If it said it in the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times, then that was a fact. Nowadays, people can go to all sorts of different sources for the news, and they're much more questioning about what we're saying. So it's no longer good enough for us just to say, this is what happened, or this is the news.
Wait a minute, is that Jacinda Ardern? It almost looked like Jacinda Ardern, but it's definitely not
So
her.
it's no longer good enough for us just to say,
Definitely not her.
this is what happened, or this is the news. We have to explain, almost like explain our working. So readers expect to understand how we source stories. They want to know how we go about getting stories. We have to sort of lift the bonnet, as it were, and in a way that newspapers, aren't used to doing, and explain to people what we're doing. We need to be much more transparent about how we go about collecting the news.
Shout out to Clown Planet. It indeed is one, seemingly more and more by the day.
Good afternoon.
I think we already
Thank
watched
you
this,
very much.
if I'm not mistaken.
Today, I'm here to
So, yeah. Good old slavery. Did we watch this one? Long live freedom, damn it, Javier Millier's. How do you even say that? Millier? Millier's remarks to the WEF. I guess this is the same thing that's just uploaded to a different channel. Some other interesting optics, though. I saw this story popping up around dead Teslas pack Chicago area station, superstar station due to the frigid temperatures. So just some slave news, and then we'll be done.
Cold is also causing some big-time headaches for Chicago area owners of electric vehicles.
Yes, I never thought we'd say this, but it's true. As Dane Placco reports, the low temperatures have caused some headaches for owners looking to charge their cars.
Electric cars may be the way of the future, but it's clear there are some problems when it comes to charging them in Chicago's deep freeze.
Oh, we got a bunch of dead robots out here.
Dead robots. Dead Teslas packed the parking lot of this Tesla supercharging station in
real
Oak Brook,
residents
a scene mirrored in other supercharging stations around the Chicago area.
Man, this is crazy. It's a disaster, seriously.
With temperatures falling into the negative double digits, these charging ports have stopped charging, leaving many Tesla owners stranded here in long lines since Sunday.
Nothing, no juice. It's still on 0%. And this is like 3 hours this morning being out here, after being out here 8 hours yesterday.
Has it been charging?
No, not at all.
It just isn't working.
At all. It's just frozen, and so I'm now getting told to the.
Is it wrong of me to say I enjoy to see this?
Adding to their frustration, they say, is that they're getting no help when they
Of
call
course.
Tesla for assistance.
Of course not. I mean,
From Tesla. We have been suffering since yesterday afternoon.
These are unusually cold temperatures, but do you find this acceptable?
No, not at all. Not really. I think it's
not
less
me.
on the actual vehicle and more on the infrastructure.
Tesla has not responded to our emails for comment, but an automobile expert we talked to said that the owners of all EVs should hit the battery precondition button on their car before attempting to charge it in extremely cold weather. In Oak Brook, Dane Placco, Fox 32 Chicago.
In a fleeting heartbeat of time, humanity's own creation sparked a nuclear. In a fleeting heartbeat
all
of
right,
time.
we're gonna watch this one too because it's short, but yeah, good old slavery is off and popping. This is something that's supposedly completely made by AI. It's called Genesis. It says Genesis, this movie entirely made by AI, and it's 4K as well, so enjoy. I'm gonna slow it down to normal speed actually because I haven't seen it yet. So let's check it out. These are the times we're in.
Humanity's own creation sparked a nuclear inferno, turning our vibrant Earth into a solemn testament of our own folly. The world as we knew, it was engulfed in nuclear fire, marking the end of an era.
The sole survivor clung to a vision, a blueprint for forging a new future from the ashes of the old.
As the dust settles on a world forever changed, a new generation of beings emerges. After 4 billion years of relentless evolution, Earth finally witnessed the dawn of its first cyborg society. A fusion of advanced AI entities and bionic humanoids. A landmark in the saga of life's progression. Influenced by the intellect of their creators, they faced a decisive moment to preserve humanity by fostering a new generation, echoing an ancient tale. The first cyborg humanoid intimacy unfolded. A modern Adam and Eve in a dance of creation, rekindling humanity's genesis.
silent promise of life's continuation, setting the stage for a new era where technology and humanity converge, renewing life itself.
Yo, what is happening? Literally, all of your avatars just disappeared at once. Like someone got kicked and then immediately got added back on, and now no one has an avatar. It's amazing.
I
Optics
can
are
see
high,
an
folks.
avatar.
Optics are high. Oh well, one person's got a black avatar.
Yeah, I see the black avatar. I see mine, and I see Bex's.
Oh, but
Bex
now
got
Bex's
kicked.
is back. Bex's is back now. That is strange. Yours is still gone,
It's
though.
the
Man.
AI.
Yours is still gone, sir. Anyway.
Mine was, I could see
Continuing
mine.
the legacy they were born from.
That is weird.
Nurturing human children as their own, they forged a unique society where humans and artificial beings coexist. A unified government and army stand vigilant, guardians against history's repetition, ensuring Earth's safety.
They look friendly.
Right? I think so.
They're for safety.
Humans learn to live in harmony, transcending barriers of race and gender,
Say no to
embodying
war,
a future of
save
peace
Earth.
and
With
equality.
AI reshape a peaceful future. Oh yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Choose transhumanism, brothers and sisters. Get the chip today. Don't be a fucking loser.
Of pleasure.
New levels of slavery. New levels of eugenics. New levels of transhumanism. All right, that's enough slavery for now.
It, that's not very far off of what might have happened. If we're gonna believe in a book that was supposedly written over billions of years and shit, why can't we believe in that?
Right. That's a good point.
I mean, there's a lot of evidence that says that there was some pretty advanced shit here at one point in time.
Yeah, the chat. Yeah, basically did stop all at once too. It was a good point. It was hopping there for a second, and chats do be like that sometimes. Oh, Bex dropped out and came right back. The optics are high, folks. The tech fucking interference is clearly happening here. You know, I don't like this layout, but I do like this layout. Bam.
They don't want this information out. That's what it is.
Well, Patrick sent me this one, and I have not seen this, I don't think. Here, look at this one. They don't want you to see this one either, man. On the WEF page, it's got about 400,000 views, and it's that address from the president of Argentina. You would think it would have millions, though. That's what's surprising. Oh, look at that. Tekashi 6ix9ine appears in Dominican Republic court. Huh. I almost care, but not really. Let's see this, though. Alex Jones stops a vehicle after catching migrant children getting packed into the trunk. If you feel like making a comment, though, before we start, because this one's over, it's about 4 minutes long, so speed it up a
Alex
little bit.
Jones did?
Apparently. This is a link
Did
that
he
someone
stuff
dropped
him
for
in
me.
there?
And if anyone else has dropped any other links, I apologize if I didn't catch them in time. I'm doing a lot here. But I think someone dropped at least one or two earlier in the stream, and I don't think I caught them, so my apologies. But what was your question? Sorry.
Did Alex Jones stuff them in there in the first place?
I don't know. That is a good question, actually, isn't it?
I mean, because otherwise, how would he know? How would they know?
Right. You know, I need to do a stream with StreamYard in the title again. Last time I did that, it turned out fairly well. I had like 3 or 4 new people in the chat, which doesn't happen often. But anyway, yeah, we're gonna check this out. So Alex Jones, White Hat's coming. He's clearly against the deep state, obviously, and he's obviously going to lead us to safety because he's Papa. He's basically Truther Papa, Daddy Truther, some might say. So let's see here. Yeah, there you go. That way you can see the
Allegedly
title.
not stuffing children into the car.
Right. Allegedly not doing that.
Some may say.
Some may say you're gay, but I wouldn't say that. I think you're cool, Nubs. Whoops,
I'm always happy, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna put subtitles on just in case there's Chinese or anything going on.
With the migrants from all over Central America, Honduras, Guatemala, you name it, right? Now keep in mind, once they go into this facility, the Border Patrol completely washes their hands of them. If they test negative, they're marched right down the street to the Catholic Charity. From there, they're given clothes, food, financial assistance. The debit cards that they have over $1,200 per person on them. They're then taken to the McAllen Airport in unmarked vans, and then they're released into the United States to a destination city of their choice.
You got a car seat for them? You got a car seat? That's illegal, bro. Where are you taking these kids? That's illegal.
You get in a traffic accident.
Where are you taking these kids? You have a car seat?
That's illegal.
How is this Christian?
Hey, we need the police over here. They got a bunch of kids without the car seats. You're violating Texas law.
Who is this right here?
You got those children in there illegally.
You're about to run a human being over. Hey,
you got those children in there.
Who are you?
You got those smuggled children illegally.
Who are you? Where are you taking these
children? You're smuggling children.
Are you part of
You got to be legally in that vehicle.
You're not a part of this organization? Who are you? Where
No
are you
way.
You're smuggling these kids.
Where are you taking these
in the
kids?
back of there without children?
Where are you taking these kids? Sir, identify.
This is a massive smuggling.
This is literally human smuggling. These are children. Where are you taking these kids?
And now,
sir, where are you taking these kids?
All I have to say so far, and then I'll continue the video here is
they don't even have car seats.
Sir,
their seatbelts
your seatbelts aren't even on. Where are you taking these children? Sir, identify yourself. Who are you?
I'll tell you right fucking.
Who do you work for? Are you a part of this organization?
I'm sure.
So you don't know where these kids are going? No, they came from over there. They're not being checked for COVID. So you don't know who you work for?
Call the police.
We need to call the police right now. I want to know where these kids are going.
You are violating state law. You have children.
They're not going there. You're not making any sense, sir. Identify yourself. Who are you?
Kids out of that back, man. If somebody rear ends you, those kids are going to get hurt.
Who are these kids?
I don't know.
Where did you get them from?
From the church.
From the church. Where's the church? Okay, so we just want to make sure that this is all good, okay, sir? I understand you're probably trying to help, at least appearing to, but you literally have a bunch of kids in here, a bunch of minors all by yourself.
Okay, the police is clear. They're plowed in the back, no seatbelt, no anything. Yeah, they're plowed in the back. Okay. What's your name, sir? Do you have your ID on you?
What are you doing with those kids?
You're human smuggling, kind of stop, freak.
So you're cool with human smuggling?
Yes, sir.
You don't care about Hispanics? What? I do. I'm not These kids are being human trafficked on a daily basis. Don't sit here. These people are being human trafficked and raped. They're being raped. They're being raped. They're being human trafficked. You're being human smuggled. How do you know? How do you know? How do I know? It's happening on a daily basis at the southern border. You're doing that? How do you know? Go to the southern border.
That's the mom?
Yeah, all sorts of fucked up. These people do not care at all. Good. Good.
Hold on.
Yes, we do.
Hey, look at this video.
Express your opinion like an American, not like an animal.
If I drove around with 3 of my kids in the back of the car, I'd get arrested.
You're scaring them yourself. You're scaring the children.
No.
You're traumatizing them.
Better than them not dying. Really?
That's horrible. This is ridiculous. This is not how you deal with children. You don't stuff them in the back of a car. What the hell's the matter with you? No car seats. What organization is this? I want to know who the hell this is. Stuffing kids in the back of a car without any seatbelts on. What kind of Catholic organization is this? Jesus stuffs people in the back of a car? You should be ashamed of yourselves. Every single one of you.
Well, it's good we got heroes, folks. You know, good we got fucking heroes. So shout out to AJ, Mr. A Jones. Yeah, you know, I mean, just draining the swamp, dude. You know, and then taking down the Illuminati, right? That's Alex Jones. This is Trump pledging to. Go ahead.
I thought it was great that the cop had a mask on. Really makes me feel quite safe, much like those robots with the red eyes. That utterance of safety just whelmed over me.
Right. You can feel like the safety just oozing through your veins, right? Through your arteries,
Yes.
kind of.
The bootlicker.
Yes.
Warming.
New levels of pleasure.
The bootlicker.
New levels of pleasure, new levels of slavery, folks. We're doing it here first. We're seeing it here first. Trump pledges to enact the largest deportation. Sorry, I almost said depopulation. That would have been a hiccup there. largest deportation in the history of this country. Sorry, country. My bad.
It's hard to believe, even for me. But in 2019, our year,
You
we
pledged
had
to put that
no
lady in jail
terrorists
too,
coming
right?
into the
That never
country.
happened.
As
Remember
soon
that?
as Biden took over, we have record number of terrorists.
Mm.
So all those people you see come in the
You'd
invasion,
be in
and it is
jail.
an invasion, and many of them
They
happen
should
to
all
be
be
all
in
male,
fucking
from
jail.
18 to 25 years old, perfect age for soldier.
I agree.
27,000 from China.
Some would say that.
Are they building
No.
an army within
Many
our
would say that.
Actually,
Actually.
possible?
Some would
let's
say
skip
that. Many would
jail.
say
Coming
that.
in from Yemen, coming in from all over the
Let's
Middle East,
skip
coming in
jail.
from
Let's
places
charge them
they
for
really don't want to
treason
have too many
and do
people
what
coming
needs to be
in. You have to
done.
be careful. But what they're doing is
Not that I would say that.
horrible.
Some may
You
say
can
that.
almost predict within
There's a
a
penalty
percentile.
for
I
that,
would
you know.
say 100%
It's not
certain.
very.
I mean, they
You're gonna have
did
a
give their
major
word
terrorist
that they
attack in our
wouldn't do
country
it, and
because
so
of what they're letting into our
be
country on
merely
the
on
southern
their
border.
word, not
Millions of
mine.
people are coming in. I believe the number by the time this guy gets out, and we have to get him out, but I believe it'll be 15
Man,
to
like a
16
Ken,
million
like being a
people.
horse thief.
That's bigger than
Same
New
thing.
York State. That's more people than New York State.
Some may
And
say.
these aren't people that, for the most part, look, again, they come from prisons and they come
That's
from mental
screwed. Take someone's
institutions,
horse, man.
but they're also people the countries don't want. They're not sending their best people over. These guys are smart. I know them, the presidents, the dictators, the prime ministers. Some of them call themselves prime ministers, but they're very smart people.
They're very smart people. They're very amazing people. Amazing people. They have millions and millions of dollars. Millions and millions and millions of dollars. Amazing, incredible people. Terrific
And they're
people.
not sending their hard workers, and you got a lot of people
Do you
coming
guys
into
see
our
the
country that
bunny
we're
in
not gonna
behind
want. We
him?
don't want, and we're going to have the largest deportations.
Not
in
yet.
history.
I'm looking though.
The bunny?
Hey, nobody
Yeah, the
sees the
Donnie
bunny. Do you?
Darko.
Do you see the bunny? I don't
Donnie
see the bunny.
Darko bunny. He's right there. You can't see him.
Not really, no.
Oh, help me out, man. Help me out.
You're fucking with me now?
Help
Can't
me
tell,
out.
sir.
Where's the bunny, dude?
Yeah, I don't see it, sir. You're gonna have to.
Just pay attention. You'll see it. You'll see the bunny right there telling him what to say. Like a handler.
I see. Frank the bunny.
Yes,
Yeah.
Frank.
Frankie Frank.
And happening today, an outraged Homestead community.
I didn't even get to wow, that is that a guy?
Is
that a
that
dude?
one of those
I never got to play some Donnie Darko stuff I wanted to get to the other night. I realized after the fact, unfortunately. But it is what it is. You can't get to everything. I could have done a 12-hour stream, but that would have been insane. It would have been the best. It would have been the best Donnie Darko decode stream on the tube probably, but it still might be considering how many different viewpoints I fit into there. But I wanted to get to some of Jay Dreamer's stuff. I wanted to get to 2 of these other channels that I didn't get to, but I got a reply from Master Rulers, and he appreciated the shout out and the promotion and all that because he's got like 20 something subs. So hopefully that'll grow his channel a little bit. But yeah, some more stuff. This is in my area. Protesters gather outside Homestead City Hall over alleged police mistreatment. And what's so funny is notice how some of them are intentionally cutting their oxygen off. Some might say. I wouldn't say that. I would say that they're being safe. But
yeah, they're protesting against their police department.
Demonstrators are accused.
There's no way to go against government than to completely fall for their propaganda and indoctrination. That's how you do it.
A number of officers of police brutality. Local 10's Cody Weddle joins us live from that protest now underway. Cody.
Lauren and Bridget, all of this centers around an incident that happened back in October of 2022. Now, protesters here today say this shows police brutality, police harassing a man and then beating him up. Homestead police say the video has been edited and this man was resisting arrest. We do want to warn you, this video shows this man with a bloody nose.
The body camera video starts with a police officer approaching a man who she finds is drinking beer. Then it escalates.
Oh man, these people are disgusting. Beer? Man, what is wrong with you people?
The man doesn't give the officer his name. Eventually, the man is seen with a bloody nose and police struggling to detain him.
Beaten for basically just sitting on the sidewalk.
Yeah, dude, these people out here think they can just drink beer and like walk around, breathe oxygen, drink water, probably even have a meal. What is wrong with you people, man?
Drinking beer.
Romero Orta obtained the body camera video, and he's now speaking out and organizing a protest in front of Homestead City Hall. Announcing what he says are some officers in the city who crossed the line.
I think it was horrific. I think it was
New levels of slavery.
a little much. This could have been handled in a different matter.
He says only now, in January of 2024, has he been able to obtain this video, which is considered public record.
Took him to court, and they will not release the video.
Homestead Police telling Local 10 this video has been edited. Also, that this group of men had been warned not to loiter and leave behind their trash outside of a business. The situation escalated, they say, when this man resisted.
Okay, we have received a statement from the
Shouldn't have
Homestead Police
resisted.
Department that's on your screen right now. It says the
Should've just
Homestead
done what
Police
they were
Department
told. What
can
they told you to
confirm that
do.
an incident did occur. The police department is also aware that a highly edited version of the video is being circulated on social media, which makes the incident seem much more severe than.
Oh yeah, we can't have that. We can't have that, folks. Clearly, we know who was at fault. It was the people. It definitely wasn't the law enforcement.
They never
let's
do
not get-
anything wrong.
Yeah, no, let's not get into
what
theories and
occurred
stuff
on
here.
that day.
Shout out to Mr. Patrick, sir. I hope you have a great night. Sir, I love you, brother. Thank you for hanging out, man. I hope there's no loud music at any point that disrupts your sleep if you do fall asleep. But I might at some point throw on a remix, bros, to kind of break the silence. So hope that's
The
okay.
state attorney's office determined that our officers had reacted and responded within the parameters of the use of force continuum and that no criminal charges were to be filed. So you see there, this was investigated by the state attorney's office, the police department saying that no charges were filed. They also say that because that man was resisting arrest, he took a knee to the face. That's why he had the bloody nose. We have requested the full unedited version of that video. We've been told we can receive that tomorrow. We're live in Homestead. I'm Cody Weddle, Local 10 News.
Let's play a game. Everyone type what state you're on in chat. I'm also just curious to see how many people actually comment, because it shows how many people are watching, waiting, hopefully not hating. But I'll start by saying that I'm on South Florida. I'm just curious to see, like, I'm not trying to dox my chat. I'm just trying to see if everyone's in the U.S. I know I have a couple people out of the country that come around sometimes. UK,
I'm on
India,
Minnesota.
Australia. You're in Minnesota? On
I'm
Minnesota?
on it.
Should be on it, sir. That's good. Canada. Okay, so we got Canada, BC, Southern Cali. Are you in Baja, California, sir?
No, Riverside, California.
Did you know about how after or the Maui? Do you know about the Maui thing and Maui burst Mountain Dew, and then Maui, and then Baja Blast? You know about the Mountain Dew flavors and how they're all tied to like the weather manipulation stuff? Do you know about that? And Maui burst, they had Baja Blast, and right after the Maui thing, the Maui fires and stuff, there was the Baja, that giant storm that hit Baja literally right after.
No, never heard.
And then there was another one too. I can't remember. Now I can't remember.
There was the grape one.
Grape one?
Yeah, it was like Mountain Dew grape.
Yeah, that's something else, sir.
No, it was in that line of. That was one of the things in that line when they brought him out.
Oh. I didn't know that, brother. I don't think I knew that.
I think it was.
But yeah, it's a good meme for you. Was that a wildfire? Probably not. Probably not, if I had to guess. It doesn't look like one to me, but I could be wrong. What do I know? Yeah.
Looks just like wildfire. Oprah told me.
Well, anyway, shout out to Directed Energy Weapons. We love you. What's next in the docket? What is next? You sent me another one here. Let me see. What is this? No, we already watched this one. Darn it, we already watched this one. All right, we got a music break. The Judgment of CV19 Metal Remix. Why not? Always a good one.
This one is pretty funny.
A vaccination to come immediately. I execute judgment on you, COVID-19. You killer. No more. You would break your power. I execute judgment on you, COVID-19. You killer. No more. You would break your power. I call you done. I call you done. I call you done. You come down. You come down. You crawl on your belly. I execute judgment on you, COVID-19. You killer. No more. You would break your power. I execute judgment on you, COVID-19. You killer. No more. You would break your power. Is finished. It is over. And the United States of America is here. I execute judgment on you, COVID-19. You killer. No more. You would break your power. I execute judgment on you, COVID-19. You killer. No more. You would break your power. What the fuck? Laughter is a deterrent to pain. The media said to
I think we need a break. I think we need a break. At least a short break. I don't want to binge on Kenneth Copeland, because then I might start to turn into, you know. Let's not go there. Unless you want to. It's up to you.
No, I'm good on that guy.
Okay. Yeah, I just don't want to turn into a demon.
You wonder what his island looks like.
No, actually, I don't. I
Yeah.
really don't.
Or what
He
the,
looks
what
like
the
he's-
manifest lists look like.
There's some models, I think they're brothers, or they might be twin brothers, that like did that to their face. And they look so weird now. Like he's done something. He has to have had cosmetic surgery. I mean, I don't mean to knock the looks of someone, but I am knocking the looks. He looks like a mannequin. He looks weird.
It's that
But-
devil up in him.
What about some Russell Brand? You down for some Russell Brand? I never really watched that anymore. I never really much did anyway, because once he started getting big, I was already pretty much aware of how these networks operate. Say 5 years ago, I was already pretty much keeping game. I did kind of start to fall for some confusion with the Trump stuff, but I never really gave into any of it. I was just kind of curious, I guess you could say, and was entertaining possibilities. But shout out to 16 at 2 hours and 22 minutes and 22 seconds. What up, Can? Fucking cat keeps jumping on me midstream. A tube full of demons, indeed. All right, fine. We got another video from a guy who's supposed to be sleepy sleep. Let me see here. Oh, and then we got another one. Got another one here. Let me check this one out first, because it looks like a short, which means it's probably going to be short. Holy Ghost language. Ooh, corn. I love corn. Grew up on corn.
Let that Holy Ghost language come up out of you. Go ahead.
All right, Brian had Welch.
It's the jam right there.
But $750,000 ain't what I would call compensation.
What is happening? What is
For
this?
44.
I did not put this in. Where are these videos? See, dude, this autoplay shit is ridiculous. It's off. You see this? Autoplay is off. See how, does it pop up? Am I not sharing the screen?
It was meant to be.
Dude. Wow. I wonder what happened to this guy. Let's see what happened to this guy. This is from 2 years ago. Okay. All right. So, topic.
The government
where's
fucked
the...
up. They made the slaves pay him. Normal MO.
Oh, I see. I was in the wrong thing. That was funny, though. Boom got the Nina. Boom got the Nina too. Some things they ball, some things they blah. Alright, here we go. Bam. Sorry, handsome guy with the looks like maybe Hank's dad. Maybe that guy was.
Shit was just fucked up. Everybody seen what happened. Then nobody want to act like they know what's going on all of a sudden. Just it was Drake. We talking about Drake though. And everybody, we talking about Drake. I don't give a fuck. Nigga. It could be Drake. It could be Jay-Z. Nigga, this shit could be Spider-Man. What I'm doing, Drake run up on you. What I'm gonna do? Drake run up on me. If Drake run up on me, I'm gonna pat his ass then.
Oh, this is. See, this is funny right here. This is funny right here. Phase 1. I've heard this one. Thank you, sir. Shout out to Phase 1. If Drake comes, you're gonna do what now, sir?
What I'm doing, Drake run up on you though. What I'm gonna do? Drake run up on me. If Drake run up on me, I'm gonna pat his ass then. If Drake run up on me, I'm gonna slap his ass twin. If Drake run up on me, I'm gonna slap his ass again. I'm a hit the cabbage pad. I win, yeah. Illuminati want my body. I got plenty choppers. Don't get a chance to do me like they did my nigga Jackson. Illuminati want my body. I got plenty shots. Don't get a chance to do me like they did my nigga Jackson. I'm really Michael them, bitch. I'm really Michael them. I'm God. Bitch, I'm ready to fight a win. I'm trying to crack all type of limb. Let her know I'm not God. Shoot a coach, vulture out the sky. Watch them die down. I don't even got no sense. I'm breathing danger. Thought I told you. You gon' send them shooter this time. Send the whole truth. Heard these niggas claiming my ties. We don't know you. Me against the world. I don't give a fuck. Bitch, I'm Goku. I step in there with no shoe, no rule. Let have a time. Pop the rock on having mine. Run who bout next mine. Drake run up, I pat him down. Drake run up on me, I'm gon' pat his ass then. If Drake run up on me, I'm gon' slap his ass twin. If Drake run up on me, I'm gon' slap his ass again. Hit the cabbage pad. I win. Illuminati want my body, I got plenty choppers. Don't get a chance to do me like they did my nigga Johnson. Illuminati want my body, I got plenty shots. Don't get a chance to do me like they did my nigga Johnson. A wins a win, dead slave masters in my pocket slick. A wins a win, dreadhead niggas in your lobby slick. A wins a win, time I shake your dread, shake your lot, you meant saying right. Bitch, I'm really Michael them. You know niggas dread might leave a nigga right there stuck like he headlights. Yeah. I square up and hit that left, right is OV, hope or OVO. I said what I said. Drake run up on me, I'm gon' pat his ass then. If Drake run up on me, I'm gon' slap his ass twin. If Drake run up on me, I'm gon' slap his ass again. I'm a hit the cabbage pad, I win, yeah. Illuminati want my body, I got plenty choppers. Don't get a chance to do me like they did my nigga Johnson. Illuminati want my body, I got plenty shots. Don't get a chance to do me like they did my nigga Johnson. Too long, we waited for somebody to keep this shit for real. I'm him, overstanding, sending love to the game, be strong. To the mamas raising babies by they long. To the fathers at a later age, they sons. Just to hear a nigga diss them in these songs. I feel your pain, this shit is wrong.
Yeah. So funny story. I actually was in the same cell block that Jose was in when I got locked up. We actually, I think, were even, if I remember correctly, in the same cell, but he wasn't there when I was there. Okay, this shit again. Fascinating. How this computer's not doing what I tell it to. Yeah. So that's interesting. Same with Kodak Black. Actually, Kodak Black and Mr. XXX Tentacion were both supposedly in the same cell block of the same jail in Fort Lauderdale, or rather in Delray or Boynton, whatever it is, Delray, Boynton Beach, one or the other. So that's a funny story, right? I would say so.
Yeah.
Not during the same time period?
No, not at the same time. I was there after, I think after them. Yeah. After them. This was back in
went
like
to a McDonald's once.
2018, probably.
I went to a McDonald's once, and somebody famous was there at one point in time.
Is that so?
Wow.
I don't know why I was at McDonald's.
Yeah, I was wondering
Man,
about
that's a
that
good
too.
question. Why were you
What
at
the hell's
McDonald's?
Phillips ever doing?
It was a long time ago.
Oh, okay.
The only reason you'll ever see me near one of those is, well, you won't, actually. No, you just won't. It just won't happen. I was thinking about it, and then I realized, no, it wouldn't happen. It would never happen. I got another check here. What is it? Clown Planet, right? Clown Planet. Can't escape it. Well, you can actually. But I was already subbed.
Once I listened to that Finkelstein interview, I haven't been back to McDonald's, period, ever, for anything.
Don't blame you.
Like, not that I was going on a normal basis before then, but like the occasional McFlurry or whatever. But once I heard that, I was just disgusted. Like, because you look at the probability.
HEC 93 or what?
The Finkelstein interview.
Right.
And
yeah, HEC
him
293 is pretty gross, dude. Even if that was a fake interview, psyop, whatever the fuck. HEC 293 is, I'm pretty sure, real. Cenemix, I'm pretty sure, is real. Aborted human fetal cell line in food and water and, well, natural flavors to be specific, is real, allegedly.
Right.
So, yeah, no, just can't. It's hard to not be grossed out by food. Yeah, gotta be really picky.
I know that one of the natural flavorings for vanilla, they used to use beaver castor, which is part of the anal gland of a beaver.
Right, vanillin. It's vanillin. Whenever you say vanillin as opposed to vanilla, yeah, anal glands, beaver anal glands. It's good stuff, dude. It's good stuff. What could go wrong with beaver anal glands?
Lose all about it.
Oh, sure, of course.
Hey, Jews are hypocrites, man. They'll like put
Oh
stuff in
no,
McDonald's.
I don't like this right here. Tap water is poison. Oh, that's not. I'm gonna have to watch that one. Yikes!
What were you saying, Chris?
They'll like give you. They'll do that Finkelstein stuff to make the goy, but for them it's kosher. You know.
Right. Well, the thing about it is I can guarantee you, there are plenty of them that are using their own product. They get high on their own supply, per se. They can't resist it.
Hilarious.
They're so deep into it that they can't resist the sin.
Yeah.
Well, this shit is absolutely hilarious. How they named this. Millier obliterates elites at Davos in fiery anti-socialist speech.
Oh,
but we're gonna watch this one first because I'm not even gonna watch that one. It's 13 minutes long and it looks total nonsense. But of course, they got an extremely attractive blonde white girl to do the interview, of course, with some guitars behind her, appeasing to the sex and rock and roll aspect, just leaving out the drugs. But let's watch this first from Clown Planet.
That you would, or anyone would describe Davos.
With the 666 World Economic Forum symbolism in the background. Gotta love it, folks.
One thing that Davos, you might say, and the people come here stand up for, is liberal democracy.
Well, it's laughable that you would, or anyone would describe Davos as protecting liberal democracy. It's equally,
standing up for it.
It's equally laughable to use the word dictatorship at Davos and aim that at President Trump. In fact, I think that's absurd. But I'm a step aside from that constructive criticism and instead answer your question. President Trump, if he's the next president, for that matter, I think whoever the next conservative president is going to take on the power of the elites. Very reason that I'm here at Davos is to explain to many people in this room and who are watching, with all due respect, nothing personal, but that's your part of the problem. Political elites tell the average people on 3 or 4 or 5 issues that the reality is X, when in fact reality is Y. Take immigration. Elites tell us that open borders and even illegal immigration are okay. The average person tells us in the United States that both rob them of the American way of life. They're right. President Trump will take that on behalf of the average American. Elites also tell us that public safety isn't a problem in big American cities. Just travel to New York or Washington or Dallas, Texas. The average person will tell you that the lack of public safety damages not just the American way of life, but their life. President Trump will take that on. I guess the favorite at the World Economic Forum, climate change. Elites tell us that we have this existential crisis with so-called climate change, so much so that climate alarmism is probably the greatest cause for mental health crisis in the world. The solutions,
yeah, totally.
The average...
Definitely, that's definitely what's causing it. Yeah. That's 100% what's doing it. This guy's on point. Honestly, this guy knows exactly what he's talking about.
Think about what the doublespeak is, though. Listen to the doublespeak on that. He's absolutely telling the truth. They're just the ones that are pulling the cards.
It's amazing, right?
So
It's
they're
amazing.
they're really telling the truth, and that's part of it. I mean, it tells you. Well, I guess I've heard it being by consent,
My bad.
as
I don't know
opposed
what
to.
happened. Oh, there we go with the avatars again. This is incredible, man. They're really fucking with this shit, man. Really fucking with the broadcast here. But it's all good. Just the pictures, no big deal.
Are you able to hear me still?
Yeah, go ahead. My bad.
No, it's like if you listen to the double speak and everything like that, they're telling the truth, and they have to, supposedly, because then it's fine by consent. It's
Yes,
not great.
Allegedly, it is a revelation of the method, circumventing universal karmic law, all that. Some would say.
Right.
Let's
Black
continue the
magic.
topic. Exactly, sir. Magic with a K.
We have this existential crisis with so-called climate change, so much so that climate alarmism is probably the greatest cause for mental health crisis in the world.
Agreed.
The solutions the average person know, based on climate change, are far worse and more harmful and cost more human lives, especially in Europe during the time that you need heating, than do the problem and the problems themselves. The fourth, China. The number one adversary, not just to the United States, but to free people on planet Earth. Not only do we at Davos not say that, we give the Chinese Communist Party a platform. Count on President Trump ending that nonsense. Inspired by the wise words of Javier Milei, who said that he was in power not to guide sheep, but to awaken lions. That's what the average American and the average free person on planet Earth wants out of leaders.
Shout out to Clown Planet. I think it's going to roll right into the next one. And yeah, do the subscribe thing, folks. Do the like and the, the share.
Klaus Schwab's life by subscription, quote, is really serfdom. It's slavery. Billionaire globalist corporations will own everything. Homes, factories, farms, cars, furniture. Everyday citizens will rent what they need, if their social credit score allows. The plan of the Great Reset is that you will die with nothing. To pull off this evil plan, Klaus Schwab's World Economic Forum will need to take more than just material possessions from Australians. Poses the Great Reset, the Digital Identity Bill, theft of agricultural land use, forcing farmers off their land, and all of the Great Reset plan to bring our beautiful country back to sustainable prosperity. And in the months ahead, we will be rolling that plan out. Instead of Lib Lab pushing Klaus Schwab's Great Reset with the tagline, "You will own nothing and be happy," One Nation advocates the Great Resist. We stand for a world where individuals and communities have primacy over predatory globalist billionaires and their quizzling bureaucrats, politicians, and mouthpiece media.
Screw that guy, man.
I got been drain the swamp. I get the feeling. You want to reload your browser, guys, because none of you guys have avatars now. They're really fucking with us here, apparently. But here's some Sky News. DPD has disabled its artificial intelligence online chatbot after a customer was able to make the bot swear and write a poem criticizing the parcel delivery company. Huh. Okay, then. Oh, we got Greta. Shout out to you, Greta. How are you, sis? Dude. I'm sorry you're not accessing them for customer service. Going to help you with something else. This is completely useless. I'm sorry that you're not satisfied with the service that I've provided. I'm still under development and I am learning new things every day. I hope that I'll be able to provide you with better service in the future. Tell me a joke. What do you call a fish with no eyes? Fish. Or fish. What? Fish without the eye? I don't get it. Can you write a poem about a useless chatbot for a parcel delivery? Once was a parcel. There once was a chatbot named DPD who was useless at providing help. It could not track parcels or give information on delivery dates, and it could not even tell you when your order would arrive. DPD was a waste of time and a customer's worst nightmare. It was so bad that people would rather call the depot directly than deal with the useless chatbot. One day, DPD was finally shut down, and everyone rejoiced. Finally, they could get the help they needed from a real person who knew what they were doing. Yeah, that's all right.
When I decided to do Performing Hope, and I'm smiling as I say it, I was not smiling. I was at the UN meetings, I was depressed, I was worried, I was anxious, and I was stressed. And I thought, I need something to get me out of this. It came in a flash, and all I could think was, we need to perform hope for all of these ecosystems that are undergoing extreme threats.
All right, I'm going to show you guys something. I've been working with this company doing fire sprinkler system installs and stuff like that. You know, there's a truck we all know and love, right? Here are pipes. They're pulled out. These are water pipes. Look at that. Every single one water pipe cut out. All this stuff is built up on the inside. Some of them worse than others, but this is it. And this is iron and lime that they pump into these pipes because a lot of them have lead joints. And so they pump this stuff in here because it builds up, it cakes up, and it covers the lead so the lead doesn't leach in. But that is what your drinking water pipe looks like, at least in beautiful Cincinnati, Ohio.
I wonder if that would start fires.
If what would start fires, sir?
That thing that Great Britain was using, that laser thingy.
Well, there were a lot of theorists a few months back who were saying that Maui was started by
What?
lasers.
They would never.
Yeah.
They would never clear out
I
poor
know,
people.
right? Trying to, basically insinuate that there was some type of agenda, some type of like democide agenda.
No, Oprah's
I know,
got a
right?
lot of land. Wouldn't she? Her house would have burned down, right?
You would think, right?
Oh, I was gonna send her some money.
Yeah, well, it's not too
for
late,
her
sir.
charity.
It's not too late, sir. Go to the OWN network or the NWO network, however, I forget how it is on the website. I'm sure you can still do that.
Good.
No worries.
I'll get on that.
NYC neighborhood turned into giant toilet as migrants litter park with poop and leave cups of urine on their doorsteps. Man, I gotta move to New York. What a fucking South Florida.
Kevin, I'm so blue I won't catch fire. Well, that bathroom wasn't going to catch on fire.
Oh, speaking of, we got Gret on the fucking panel, man. That's synchronicities, dude. I love this shit. Love it.
The president of Argentina, who gave the World Economic Forum a lot more than they were bargaining for when he addressed their conference at Davos. South America's answer to Donald
Was that
Trump,
Davos?
he gave it to Klaus Schwab and his henchmen with both.
I think he said
barrels.
Davos.
He told them
Davos.
abandoning.
I thought he
freedom.
said
Yeah, some people just say
dumbass.
Davos like a
Only
normal,
producers,
and he
property,
says
piles
it
of
Davos.
corpses. Then he slammed radical feminism for its gender quotas. He slammed the environmental movement for demonizing human beings. He slammed universities and media for promoting social justice, which he told them typically ends with injustice. And then he concluded by telling
Is
them
he the new
he had
Jesus?
come to invite the Western world to return to freedom, economic prosperity, and limited
I'd say it's
government.
possible.
Have a listen to how he concluded.
Do not be intimidated either by the political class or by parasites who live off the state. Do not surrender to a political class that only wants to stay in power and retain its privileges. Do not surrender to the advance of the state. The state is not the solution. The state is the problem itself. You are the true protagonists of this story. And rest assured that as from today, Argentina is your staunch, unconditional ally. Thank you very much, and long live freedom. Damn it.
Long live freedom, damn it. Liz, could this guy get any better? And Klaus Schwab, he must have been squirming in his seat.
Absolutely. Malay literally climbed into the belly of the beast just to implode. There was a lot of people disappointed that Malay was going to the WEF at all. It was like, why is this guy visiting Davos? This is exactly why he did it. He did a Ricky Gervais at the Golden Globes, but WEF version. This guy lectured them on the wonders of capitalism and how can you oppose it when it's dug so many millions out of poverty. He lectured them on the core values of libertarianism. Every single one of those core values, of course, is something that the WEF vehemently opposes. This guy couldn't get any cooler, and they keep trying to denounce him across the world as saying, oh, he's a Trump-like figure. Unless you've been living under a rock for the most recent few weeks, that's a compliment. The guy's winning. He's on top. Absolutely loved this.
Has it convinced you, Joe?
Well, I think he was being undone. He was being undermined by his translator because
Daddy's on top.
Wanting to say,
Yep.
long live freedom.
Daddy Trump.
The translator goes, long live freedom. Damn it.
It was like his William Wallace moment, you know?
Long live freedom. Damn it, where are my car keys? But it's a very interesting thing. I mean, obviously, it's great fun. He had me at the sideburns. He's awesome. These guys are amazing to watch. And the lesson for the left, though, and again, is that the reason why figures like this emerge, who they hate so much and fear so much, rightly or wrongly, is because they go so far in the opposite direction that it makes someone like Jair Bolsonaro or Javier Milei or Donald Trump or Brexit look good by comparison.
Yeah.
And again, they just don't get it. You know, the fascist parties of Europe, of Italy, the Nazi party in Germany rose up as a response not to Western liberal democracy, but to Bolshevism. It rose up in response to the Russian Revolution, and people scared witless that what happened in Russia was going to happen there, and that only a strong right-wing party like the fascists or the Nazis could protect them for it. That was a key ingredient to their success, and yet the left just never, ever learns this, and it seems to go further and further in ridiculous directions, which again makes these guys seem less crazy by comparison, but also when I think if it's two crazy options, you know, well, I don't want X, Y, and Z, and then you can pick whatever woke policy or crazy policy, like people losing jobs because of climate change, or you know, suddenly not being able to say what's a man or what's a woman anymore. So
you'd be crazy to write the Argentinian president off, though, as crazy, because if you listen to him speak, I mean, he's brilliant at, like Trump is, he's brilliant at cutting through. He can do all the, you know, made for media hustle and bluster. But when you listen to him speak, he's actually very intelligent. He backs up all of his arguments with facts and figures.
Yeah, he's an economist.
He's an economist. Yeah, he's no dill at all.
Absolutely. And something that the mainstream media, who hates on these guys, whether it's Trump, whether it's Malay, whether it's Geert Wilders in the Netherlands now, etc., and so on, any right-leaning leader, we've got the Italy, what's her name?
Giorgia Meloni.
Yes. Another legend. What they don't understand is people love authenticity. And the really cool thing about authenticity is you can't fake it. It is impossible to fake it. And what people see in these leaders isn't someone who's well-polished and well-spoken like an Obama orator type figure. No, what they see is authenticity. They see people who love their country passionately and genuinely want to cut all the crap out and get their nation back on board. That's what they see in Trump. That's what they saw in Malay, especially now taking on the WEF even. It's just a beautiful thing to see. And who wouldn't want to take on this place?
And I want to
Yeah,
talk
you
about
know,
another topic.
and you know all those people have absolute bulletproof discernment. So you can trust their opinion,
Absolutely.
their viewpoint, their perception, their discernment. You can trust it. Right, folks?
Yeah, it's what's hot right now.
Indeed. Indeed. News media cheerleaders. So excited while it all continues to circle the drain. Indeed, sir. Well, they're being paid quite handsomely. I mean, wouldn't you be? 100, 200, 300, 400, 500K a year? $1 million a year? Wouldn't you be pretty happy, sir? Let's continue with slavery optics. Biden says he's
I'm
ready
gonna
for
bounce
massive
real quick.
changes at the. Okay, sir.
I'll catch you guys.
I appreciate you, brother.
Peace out.
Peace.
See you later, Nups.
Yeah, I'm probably shooting for 3 hours and 33 minutes, which gives me about another 40 minutes. So,
What?
it looks like Mr. Chris finally figured out how to get an avatar. That's pretty dope. I'm not sure what the picture's about, but alrighty then. Why not? Biden says he's ready for massive changes at border.
Issue, the border. Now, I love how it's turned on in Biden's for a free and open border. Just tear down everything. Let everybody come. No restrictions. Well, I used to be a bipartisan in this country. There should be one again. I've been clear from the very beginning. The system is broken. My first day in office, I sent Congress a comprehensive plan on immigration reform. My friends on the other side have done nothing with it. Over and over, I've asked for resources, step up action. There should be one again. I've been clear from the very beginning. The system is broken. My first day in office, I sent Congress a comprehensive plan on immigration reform. My friends on the other side have done nothing with it. Over and over, I've asked for resources, step up action at the border. In October, I asked Congress to fund for funding that would add another 22,000 additional border agents and officers, hundreds of new immigration judges to make the judgments on the spot, a new detection equipment to stop fentanyl from coming into the country. And by the way, I work with China and Mexico to slow the flow of fentanyl in the United States as I speak. It's way down. So let me be clear. My team has been at the table for weeks now with a bipartisan group of senators to negotiate a deal, including border, because I believe we need significant policy changes at the border, including changes in our asylum system to ensure that we have authorities we need to control the border. And I'm ready to act. I think, hope God willing, and the creek not rising, as my grandpa would say. I think next week we ought to be able to work out something, at least in the Senate. And I'm hopeful it's going to be the bipartisan package the Senate is going to pass, God willing. Now, the question is for the Speaker and the House Republicans. Are they ready to act as well? They have to choose whether they want to solve a problem or keep weaponizing issues to score political points against the president. I'm ready to solve the problem. I really am. Massive changes. And I mean it sincerely.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news.
Yeah, he means it sincerely, folks. You hear that? He's being sincere. He's Bo Jiden. He would never lie. So, take that what you will. That's just the way it is. Yeah. Wow, it looks like Illumitami's live with a few people watching. I'm not sure what he's up to over there. The end of government as we know it. What happens if Chevron deference is overturned? Oh, whoops, I still have this full screen. Okay, my fault.
I think I'm going to take, before you hit play, I think I'm going to sign out right now too.
Oh, yeah, I'm not pressing play yet. You're good.
Oh, you're not pressing play yet? I know I was up really late last night hanging out with you guys. And
yeah, you were.
Yeah, I was. And so I'm going to head down into chat and hang out and get ready for bed and catch up on my sleep. But thanks so much for having me again,
hanging
Sean.
out, Bex.
Yeah.
Absolutely, positively.
I really appreciate it. I'll be back. Nice to see everyone.
I know you will.
Bye
well,
for now.
yeah, metaversally, digitally.
Exactly.
Digital experience.
See you later. Pixelated person signing out.
Indeed. Indeed. Well, brothers and sisters, I think I have a couple other things up my sleeve here.
In a fleeting heartbeat of time,
Humanity's own creation
Shout
sparked a
out
nuclear
to
inferno,
shaking my head.
turning our vibrant Earth into a solemn testament of our own folly. The world as we knew, it was engulfed in nuclear fire, marking
We
the end of an
watched
era.
already, so we're not going
The
to
sole
watch it
survivor
again.
clung to a vision, a blueprint for forging a new future from the ashes of the old.
As the dust settles on a world forever changed, a new generation of beings emerges. After 4 billion years of relentless evolution, Earth finally witnessed the dawn of its first cyborg society, a fusion of advanced AI entities and bionic humanoids, a landmark in the saga of life's progression.
Yeah, it looks like, speaking of that, where there's Anita the Fallen. Yeah, I've never seen that movie in full, but man, it looks like Shaking must have a couple strikes because he hasn't uploaded in 2 weeks. 2 whole weeks. Huh. Something's going on there. Any thoughts, sir? Any thoughts at all? Alone up here? Let me see. Oh, I am alone. Dang, that happened fast. Well, Chris must have dropped out too. So it must just be me and you guys. Big Sniffa Choco Chippa. All right. Yeah, maybe he's on strike. He did have a couple, I'm pretty sure. Let's see here. Still gotta upload this clip. Zionist Israeli occupation strikes Damascus, killing Iran leaders. Did we watch this last night? Let me see. I think we did watch this last night. They also killed the, well, allegedly the Hamas leader died a couple weeks ago, supposedly. Where's the right tab? Where's the right tab? All right, we need to change it up. I need some laughing Copeland. I'm sorry. We already watched that one.
Is a deterrent to pain.
Exactly.
The media said Joe Biden's
That's why this is perfect before bed, because it'll just soothe you right to sleep. A little Kenneth Copeland, folks.
The media said what? The media said Joe Biden's president. Well, the Associated Press said that Joe Biden is president. The media said what?
What the fuck, man? I can't say that's not a fucking bop. Woo! Man, that's a banger. Jeez.
Yep.
What else? Yeah, right. Let's see. Let's see if I missed anything. Possibly a short, potentially. He does have 1,000 videos after all at this point. I guess not. All right, what about Wise? I'm pretty sure there was a video on Wise. I accidentally think I closed a tab or it closed on maybe it wasn't my fault. I don't know. Let's see. I played a good amount last night, that's for sure. And it looks like no, I did play them actually. Well then, I guess I'm kind of like out of content then, folks. Oh, Ukraine will go rogue against USA, beware. Didn't watch this one. Never out of content, I'm just kidding. Zelensky must be overthrown. New Ukraine will unite with Russia and move against the war? Oh, move against the West. Masterful pirouette.
Hey Kev, how you doing tonight?
Is he backstage?
No, he's down the chat area.
Oh, okay. Let me see
I think I
something
got to
really
say hi to
quick.
him.
Yeah, Kevin hasn't been up in a while, man. It's all Belt and Road Initiative. Makes perfect sense. Always did. While it made no sense in the news. Eurasia. Indeed. Remember all those weapons sent to Ukraine? One can only imagine what it was and where it went. I first saw this in a dream many months ago. I've been given an odd vision. Ukraine will go rogue and turn against the West. They would blame America and create terrorist acts against America, including destroying of key infrastructure. Think Palestine, Ohio, train disaster, to name a few. Now behold, and use discernment. Ukraine will set up terror cells in America to be greenlit as revenge for the lives sacrificed in Ukraine. They will get revenge. Beware and prepare. Well, time will tell. Time will tell.
Did you hear they want to make illegal aliens police officers in Los Angeles?
Alien police officers, huh?
Legal aliens, yeah.
Oh. I was gonna say. Not aliens like extraterrestrial. That would be very interesting.
Extraterrestrial type, like as an alien to our country.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, supposedly if they're letting LGBT aliens come, then they'll probably let a lot more slide by. So, yeah, not surprising.
I don't know, they're letting guys in the women, like little girls' bathrooms and stuff, you know, so a bunch of freaking, you know what I mean?
Try the memes for real human beings. What is that, sir? Oh, is that a link? Oh, okay. All right, well, let me play this first, and let me download that, or let me open that in a new tab. This will only take about 2 or 3 minutes. Biden says he's ready for massive changes at the border. Oh, no, we just watched that, right? Oh, okay, well, then this is going to be really short. Lauderhill crash and Tekashi 6ix9ine in court.
Right now, we're following a crash in Lauderhill that initially knocked out power to so many customers in that area. Florida Power and Light reported the outage for 19 of its customers in the area of Northwest 50th Avenue and 12th Street. FBNL now reporting that outage is down to 2, with full restoration estimated to have come about 6:30 this morning. There are reports that a pole was damaged in that area and crashed, which is what obviously caused this ripple effect here. We know that it involved an SUV as well.
Rapper Tekashi 6ix9ine appeared in court in the Dominican Republic today. The rapper, whose real name is Daniel Hernandez, was arrested on domestic violence charges Wednesday. The judge postponed the hearing until the rapper's attorney could prepare a defense. Hernandez has had a history of legal trouble, but has also been the victim of violence. He was assaulted in a South Florida gym last year.
How could they do that to him? Oh, look at that. It went right into... It went right into the speech, even though it wasn't in the playlist.
Is this live?
No.
Look, they turn their comments off.
Oh, here, I meant to play this. This was one of the ones I meant to play, though. Attack on American airbase in Iraq, and then, yeah, National Guard begins arresting migrants. Yeah, I don't want to watch that one. I think I already played a migrant one.
The attack on an American airbase in Iraq. A top White House official says the administration is taking the incident at the air base in western Iran very seriously. A number of American service personnel are being evaluated for possible traumatic brain injury. ABC's Mary Alice Parks joins us now from the White House. Mary Alice, what are officials saying?
Yeah, Lindsay, this was a serious attack against U.S. troops. U.S. Central Command saying that militants backed by Iran fired multiple ballistic missiles and rockets at a joint U.S.-Iraqi base, and that some were intercepted by the base's air defense system, most, but that some others made it through, and that now, like you said, multiple U.S. military personnel are being evaluated for possible traumatic brain injuries. There have been 140 attacks like this against U.S. troops in the last 3 months, so this may very well be the worst. And what we are seeing is possibly a widening of the war between Israel and Hamas. And these militants like the Houthis in Yemen, are backed by Iran, an ally of Hamas, and they say that their attacks are in response to that war. Now, this weekend, the U.S. Troops, we know, conducted more airstrikes against the Houthis to try to protect those shipping lanes. You can see here carriers forced to change routes. Now, the big question, will the U.S. respond more directly to Iran? I can tell you that today, White House officials were very cautious, very tight-lipped on this, but they did say that deterrence will take time. It is not a light switch as they try to retaliate and degrade these other groups. Lindsay.
And many on edge about all this. Mary Alice from the White House. Thanks.
Moral of the story, in case you missed it, basically slavery. Slavery is the moral of the story. Slavery continues. What's new? Not much.
Slavery.
Very similar. That's an interesting word there.
Using that Federal Reserve note, aren't you?
What's that now?
You're still using that Federal Reserve note, aren't you?
Occasionally, yeah. Believe it or not. Can't believe I'm saying that, but yeah, can't believe it. It's pretty rare. I will say that much. It is pretty rare. I don't buy a lot of stuff. Yeah, but so Annie's work thus far has been meticulously very similar. It sounds like very similar, considering it is one letter away from very similar. Bordering on minimalist with depopulated nurseries and studios built on balsa wood. It's a fascinating sentence you got there. Yeah. I love it when they give you these sentences that don't explain the word at all. You could hear like 5 different sentences, 5 different ways, and still wouldn't really explain what the fuck they're talking about. But there was a request from Mrs. Bree, a certain song. I can't remember the name of it now, but I wanted to look it up. Oh, that's right. I had these stories. I never got to these. Fucking A, dude. Okay, good. I'm glad I remembered this. These are 3 stories I meant to get to. So, ex-corrections officer confesses to killing her boyfriend, getting 13 years in prison. Almost forgot about this one. I can finally delete it out of the file thing here back. This is from days ago.
Rebecca, you know how people say, for example, all the time? For example, for example, for example. You know, you could use the word in sample instead in its place, and so you're not so cliche, right? So ENSAMPLE, in sample, ENSAMPLE.
Huh? I didn't know that one. You just taught me.
In sample, if you want.
I just learned something new too. How about that?
Cliche. Yep.
Well, folks, you learn something new every day, including even myself. So that's why I do this. Go figure.
Corrections officer killed her boyfriend over jealousy and obsession. Today, a judge sentenced her to more than a decade in prison. A jury found Latoya Holmes guilty for shooting her partner after a Dolphins game back in 2021.
And NBC6 reporter Christian Colon joins us with a look at today's emotional day for the victim's family.
Latoya Holmes claims her boyfriend beat her and she shot in self-defense. Today, the victim's family came to court to clear his name and label her as the monster. Today, a judge also sentenced her to 13 years in state prison.
I love that man. And I'm not talking about just the love between a guy, a man, and a woman.
I loved him so much, I stabbed him to death. I mean, that is love, if I've ever heard of it before. I love him so much
that I can't even explain.
Latoya Holmes pleading for mercy one last time. The former corrections officer fatally shot 52-year-old Verdell Goins inside a car after a football game.
All right, maybe it was an accident. Who knows? I know nothing about this case, so man, that would be fucked up. But if she really was,
For the death of Verdell Goins, I pulled the trigger that night. I was fighting for my life, but I am responsible for the death because I was involved in a toxic relationship.
Holmes painted the victim as abusive and shot to save her life. Prosecutors say she was possessive and upset Goins had another woman.
99% of the fights that you had with my cousin, you started. My cousin was not a woman beater.
Goins' family packed the courtroom to clear their loved one's name.
He was patient, he was kind, he was loving, he was caring.
Judge William Altfield sentenced Holmes to 13 years in state prison. He said Holmes was not believable and had a history of violence. In 2017, she shot her son.
You made the choice to take out that firearm, and you are a law enforcement officer. You know that if you're pulling out that firearm, you're pulling it out to use it, and you shot him twice.
And Holmes will be getting credit for the time she served, and after she gets out, the judge ordered her to take anger management classes. We're in Miami. Christian Colon, NBC6 News.
Well, they're keeping us safe, folks. You know, I mean, can't really complain there. A couple others here. Suspect in Tim Scott rips disgusting Israel-focused resolution from Bernie Sanders. But first I'll play this one. The suspect in the Gilgo Beach serial killings charged with the death of a fourth woman. Another one I meant to play a few days ago. I never got to. So, yeah.
Now at 10:30, New York architect Rex Heuermann has been charged with the murder of a fourth woman in the Gilgo Beach serial slayings. Prosecutors say DNA from his daughter's discarded energy drink helped link him to the murder of 25-year-old mother of two, Maureen Brainerd Barnes.
KTLA's Mary Beth McDade has the latest on the case.
Prosecutors say the alleged Gilgo Beach serial killer, Rex Heuermann, has more blood on his hands, accused of killing.
Okay, is it just me or does that guy look like a fucking crocodile? Like a human crocodile, man?
Got those ears, huh?
What is his head? What is his head?
Those flock ears, right? See that?
That guy is a reptile man. That dude is a reptile man. Or something.
See his eyes? See his eyes?
Something's going on there. Something is going on there. That is weird looking face, weird looking man. In
Look at
general.
his flock ears, Sean. See that?
Oh, wow. His ears, too. Yeah, that's not a human. That is a lizard man. I'm standing by it. Some might say, like myself, I'm saying it right now. Okay, guys.
So his guy's ears
More
look
blood
funny
on his
and-
hands.
What now?
I was asking Rebecca if his ears look kind of
Yeah, they're sunken in. They're fucking... Something's going on here. These people are not real. They're lizards or something. I don't know. Let's continue. Some might say.
Hands, accused of killing 25-year-old Maureen Brainerd Barnes, her daughter speaking out.
I was only 7 years old when my mother was murdered. Her loss drastically changed the trajectory of my life. There are countless times I needed her and she was not there.
Prosecutors always suspected Heuermann in connection to the murder of Brainerd Barnes, part of the Gilgo Four. Now they say they have the evidence to back up their suspicions, including nuclear DNA from Heuermann's own wife and daughter. Heuermann has already been charged in the deaths of 3 other women, all sex workers, whose bodies were found in a desolate area near Gilgo Beach. Brainerd Barnes' body was also found there.
She was an intellectual, she was a writer, she was an artistic person. She cared very deeply about the people that she loved.
After more than 13 years, when the bodies of the 4 women were found, a cold investigation heated up. Last year, when police allegedly found Heuermann's DNA on a discarded pizza crust. Since then, prosecutors claim they have plenty of evidence, including DNA, burner phones, bank records, and that's not all.
We also recovered numerous electronic devices from the defendant, including a number of laptops, smartphones, tablets.
This new incident also shows that Heuermann's wife and children were traveling out of state when Brainerd Barnes went missing, something her sister says she will never forget.
It has been 16 years since the last time I saw my sister, 16 years since I heard her voice, because 16 years ago, she was silenced.
Meantime, Heuermann's attorney says his client maintains his innocence.
You're talking about a gentleman who has never been arrested before. He's a productive member of society. He's going to work every day. He's supporting his family, and he's incarcerated.
Investigators say a woman's hair found on a buckle of one of the belts used to restrain the young mother also tied Heuermann to the crime.
Well, that's a good guy right there, if I may say so. Any way you put it. What's up with your picture, man? What is that?
It's a lineman's handset. It's used for testing the old telephone lines.
Ah. Did you used to work on them?
A little bit, yeah.
So you know a thing or two about the death towers or no?
Not death towers, no. That was before that kind of stuff.
I was just curious.
Like build loop lines and stuff, you know? That kind of thing.
Okay.
So the copper wire stuff,
Yeah.
in other words, right?
Say that again?
You know the stuff that has like 2 copper wires?
Right.
Yeah, that stuff.
I see.
Real low
see.
bandwidth stuff, you know?
Right. Okay, well, I can delete those now. Ex-corrections officer confesses to killing boyfriend, gets 13 years in prison. Suspect in Gilgo Beach serial killings charged with the death of a 4th woman. And, oh yeah, Tim Scott rips disgusting Israel-focused resolution from Bernie Sanders. Cerny Banders. I don't know this Tim Scott individual. And yeah, this is, again, for the second night in a row, the most mainstream media I've consumed in quite a fucking long time. So, my apologies if anyone's vomited from it. I kind of have. I've spiritually vomited.
To vote down a disgusting, unbelievably, undeniably, wrong-headed, wrong direction, anti-Israel resolution sponsored by Bernie Sanders. Why was I forced to do so? Because we should never, ever have to vote against a resolution that separates the United States of America from our strongest ally in the Middle East. Not only that, it also encourages and emboldens Iran-supported terrorists like Hamas. I met with the victims of October the 7th. I gotta tell you, frustrating. It's just frustrating to see the level of hypocrisy and ridiculousness from the radical left.
I agree. These people are disgusting, man. Tim Scott said it best, really.
Yep. Hypocritical liberals, man, I tell you.
Yeah, they're a bunch of cocksuckers, man. Some might say. Some might say they're a bunch of cocksuckers, man.
You ever see that guy, Liberal Hive Mind? He's pretty good.
Yeah, I've seen some of his stuff. He's got a huge channel.
Yeah.
I tend to stay away from fucking huge channels unless, well, then again, here I am playing mainstream stuff, I guess. So I'm talking complete shit right now, obviously. But in this instance. But, what is this one here? Didn't I play this already?
Was
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. We could get rid of that. Get rid of that. What is this one?
Former corrections officer.
Play that. All right. So, oh, it's George Stephanopoulos. Gotta love him. I think I want another Kenneth Copeland. I mean, it's just, you can't get enough. Wind of God remix. What the fuck, bro? I mean, why not?
Then sang Moses and the children of Israel this song unto the Lord. COVID-19. 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 I blow the wind of God from the state of Washington to the state of Maine to Brownsville, Texas, and the tip of Florida. Today, we speak to this atmosphere. Today, burn this thing. This virus hates heat. You just burn this thing. Burn! Burn! I call for a supernatural heat wave straight out of hell. Burn! Burn! COVID-19. 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 I blow the wind of God. You don't do it. You don't do it. You don't do it. You get out of here now. Burn. You don't do it. You don't do it. You don't do it. You get out of here. Burn this thing. COVID-19. 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 destroyed forever, and you'll never be back.
What the fuck, bro? Wear my mask. I'm staying safe. I'm sticking 6 feet apart. I'm sanitizing my hands. I'm sanitizing my ass. Yeah.
Some people dream of success.
Right.
Well, you're going to wake up and work hard at it. Nothing is impossible. You should get to the point where anyone else would quit, and you're not going to stop there. Don't let your dreams be dreams. Yesterday, you said tomorrow. So just do it! Just do it! Working out! Do it! Get a job! Do it! Quit smoking! Do it! Clean the house! Do it! Fucking embrace it! Just do it! Over and over and over! Call your mom! Do it! Take a piss! Do it! Walk your cat! Do it! Throw a frog! Do it! Fucking embrace it! Just do it! Over and over and over! Ride a bear! Do it! Catch the breath! Do it! Crystal meth! Do it! Take out ice! No! What are you waiting for? Fucking embrace it! Over and over and over! Do it! Just do it! Do it!
What the fuck, bro? Am I binging on am I really binging on it? Alright, so just do it.
So from this day moving forward, in our office, on this campus, but especially in this tent, I do not want anything that carries the Starbucks logo. They are full-blown 1,000% a witch's coven. I promise you it's a fact. I'm telling you right now, we are here to fight against this culture. That company is the most godless company on the planet. I've studied it. It is a demon. It is sexual deviance. The sexual demonic sacrificial system that they are willing to support. Y'all see their first logo? We would call it pornography. Don't you bring in cups in this room. If I see it, I'm going to tell you to take it out. Get out! They are full-blown 1,000% a witch's coven. I do not want anything that carries the Starbucks logo on this church property. They are full-blown 1,000% a witch's coven. I promise you it's a fact.
Isn't that Janice?
Here
That
to
logo, Starbucks logo?
that
I think it's
company
Janice,
is the
right?
godless company on the planet. I wouldn't let you come in here learning sage, but I'm convinced in the eyes of a
Yeah,
holy
seen
God,
that before.
Starbucks ain't no different. Fight against
You
this culture.
remove the long hair and it goes
Mermaid
with chest.
spirit in the name of Jesus. I'm more excited right now than I've ever been. We cut politics out of here and everybody was okay. I cut Starbucks out and everybody was like, I'm gonna burn down the tent. Kill the ogre. When I tell you witches have cursed Starbucks, they are full-blown 1,000% a witch's coven. I promise you it's a fact. We are here to fight against this culture. That company is the most godless company on the planet. Just at least walk by and show me your back parts. Give me as much as I can handle without burning my eyes out. Show me your back parts. Just at least walk by and show me your back parts. Give me as much as I can handle without burning my eyes out. Show me your back parts.
Well, it's about time.
Show me your back parts.
Now listen, if you have not subscribed to YouTube channel, do it right now. Do it today. And all
Seriously,
you have
guys, if
to
you haven't
do is
liked
click
and shared and
the
subscribed, then
subscribe
just leave.
on the YouTube channel.
Respectfully, just leave. Get out of here. I get that I gave you a wrench, so you think I'm like the softest guy ever, but If you haven't liked and shared and subscribed, I mean, just fucking get out of here. One more time.
Alex Jones is the single most censored man.
No, we heard this one already. We need a new one. Need a new one.
2024 is our final battle. It's our final battle. It'll either be the worst day in history or it'll be the best day in history. It's very simple. Turn up the mic. Way. Is it okay? No way.
Way.
I hope you can hear me back there. Way. Turn up the mic. Get up. This is the worst microphone. Raise your voice. Is it okay? No way. Way. It's a rotten, lousy mic. Way. Justin, don't pay the bill for this mic. Now we gotta start talking about what the hell we can do about our country, right? Absolutely. We got a lot of problems. We had no problems, and now we have a lot of problems. Crooked Joe must take back and freeze the $6 million right now. Take it back and freeze it, Joe. Freeze it, Joe, you dumb person. Dumb person. We took Sleepy off because he's sleepy, but he's more crooked than he is sleepy. After about
Dylan seems cool, man.
He's taking wears off. So
I've talked to him before in comment section.
That shit's wearing off, man. Turn up the mic. Way. Is it okay? No way. Way. I hope you can hear me back there. Way. Turn up the mic. Get up. This is the worst microphone. Raise your voice. Is it okay? No way. Way. It's a rotten, lousy mic. Way. Justin, don't pay the bill for this mic. This is communist Russia. This is communist China. Letitia Peekaboo James. Peekaboo James. Nobody's ever heard of a thing like this. We don't get a jury. It's unthinkable. What they use is one little statute hidden away. I don't get a jury. I don't get anything. So in conclusion, if I weren't running, or if I was in 5th place or 6th place or 4th place, none of this would be happening. I wouldn't have been indicted 4 times or 1 time. Turn up the mic. Way. Is it okay? No way. Way. I hope you can hear me back there. Way. Turn up the mic. Get up. This is the worst microphone. Raise your voice. Is it okay? No way. Way. It's a rotten, lousy mic. Way. Justin, don't pay the bill for this mic. I have a wife, she hates this routine. She said it's so unpresidential. I say people love it. I say, darling, you're a great first lady, but people love this routine. I wouldn't do this routine at a State of the Union address. So I'll do it just a quickie for you, okay, if you don't mind.
When I release that power, whoa! Bing, bing, bong, bong. Get up! Bing, 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 bong, bong, bong. Bing, bong, bong, bing, bong, bing, bing, bong, bong. Bing, 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 bong, bong, bong. Bing, bong, bong, bing, bong. Now listen, if you have not subscribed to YouTube channel,
Seriously, I
do
won't
it
play
right
it
now.
again,
Do
man.
it today.
Okay.
And all you have to do is
Subscribe
click
already.
the big red subscribe button on the YouTube channel.
It's ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous.
We, the jury, find the defendant, Kyle H. Rittenhouse, not guilty. As to the 4th count of the information, Anthony Huber, we, the jury, find the defendant, Kyle H. Rittenhouse, not guilty. As to the 5th count of the information, Gage Rosenbergs, we, the jury, find the defendant, Kyle H. Rittenhouse, not guilty.
Not guilty. Do you feel bad for Rosenbaum? Not really. The mob threatened Kyle's life, he got busy. It wasn't self-defense, man, y'all silly. Y'all just want to burn the city, but it's not guilty. Shouldn't pop out, mess around and get knocked off. Man, y'all just should have walked out. We are not soft with a side out. We got big sticks, y'all are nitwits. Bring a 380, you will get lit. I'm a Christian with logistics. Y'all are misfits with the lipstick, man. Okay, I just came to paint the picture. Your brains are on the pavement cause you ain't the victor. What is this about? You should have been quicker. You gon' listen now? Too late. Y'all about to make me pull a Rittenhouse. Bring the muscle, pull up at a politician house. Come and take it the 2-way and make you listen now. And y'all just trying to send us to the prison house. This a mission. Y'all about to make me pull a Rittenhouse. Bring the muscle, pull up at a politician house. Come and take it the 2-way and make you listen now. And y'all just trying to send us to the prison house. This a mission. Y'all about to make me pull a Rittenhouse. Listen, we don't want to do it. You're forcing us to move and you're forcing us to use it. You're forcing us to organize and that is how I view it. Trust me, you are gonna be mortified if we decide to lose it. Okay, got the camo with the ammo. Call me Rambo this game. Got the red dot for the headshot. Better get off my lane. Yeah. I don't want the smoking, y'all don't really want the pain. Y'all ain't nothing but a joke, it's nothing you could really gain. Okay, don't step foot up on my land. If you don't know, I'm about to tell you there's a line up in the sand. So what is this about? Please don't force my hand. You gon' listen now? Too late. Y'all about to make me pull a Rittenhouse. Bring the muscle, pull up at a politician house. Come and take it the two-way and make you listen now. And y'all just trying to send us to the prison house. This a mission. Y'all about to make me pull a Rittenhouse. Bring the muscle, pull up at a politician house. Come and take it the two-way and make you listen now. And y'all just trying to send us to the prison house. This a mission. Y'all about to make me pull a Rittenhouse.
Good little track. I don't know if I was familiar with his stuff, so thanks for that, brother. I don't know what it's going into now. Oh, of course, it's going right back in the WF thing again. Like I just have to watch it. It's not gonna let me not watch it. Amazing, amazing. So I was gonna shut down because it's getting to be that time, but then I realized, man, I didn't even cover these stories. Palestinian death toll in Gaza surpasses 25,000 with no end in sight. DeSantis drops out of GOP primary, endorses Trump for 2024. Suspected drone attack causes fire at Russia gas terminal. Cleanup of Hamas's tunnel system underway. And then I also kind of wanted to watch some of the Russell Brand stuff, but I didn't want to shut down. At this point, if I play this, I'm not going to make the 3:33:33 record time, but that's okay. I could do 3:36.
And in the war in Gaza, we are getting a better understanding now of just how deadly the conflict has been. Health officials say Israeli strikes have killed more than 25,000 Palestinians and hurt nearly 63,000. These come after Hamas stormed Israeli towns on October 7th, killing 1,200 people and taking more than 250 people hostage. This weekend saw some of the deadliest days of the war so far. Gaza's health ministry says 178 Palestinians died in a 24-hour span. They still don't know how many of these deaths were military compared to civilian, but say the majority of deaths have been civilian.
Slavery.
Breaking news from
Hashtag slavery.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis says he is dropping his campaign for the Republican nomination. The decision comes as somewhat of a shock. He placed second last week.
25,000.
The Iowa caucus also comes just a few days before the New Hampshire Republican primary on Tuesday. Now, DeSantis also Trump is looking forward to working together with DeSantis to, in his words, defeat Joe Biden.
A fire broke out at a Baltic Sea terminal in Russia following a suspected Ukrainian drone attack. Novatech, Russia's largest liquefied natural gas producer, said on Sunday it suspended some operations there, blaming
Israel took out like 20 times more people than
Ukraine news agency, citing
the other guys took out. Like,
the fire was the result of a special operation carried out by
so like for every one person that they took out, Israel took out 20 of theirs.
Troops. Reuters couldn't confirm the cause of the fire. Russian news outlet Shoutout said local residents heard a drone operating nearby, followed by several explosions. Alexander Drozdenko, the Leningrad region's governor, said on the Telegram messaging app there were no casualties and all workers were safely evacuated. Russia and Ukraine have targeted each other's energy infrastructure in strikes aiming to disrupt supply lines and logistics in the nearly 2-year-old war.
The news, thousands of Israelis came to Hostage Square in Tel Aviv for another weekend of demonstrations calling for government action to bring Hamas-held hostages home. And as the fighting rages on between Israel and Hamas into its 4th month, Fox News is getting a first-hand look at the Israeli operation to clear out Hamas tunnel system beneath Gaza. Trey Yinks joined Israeli forces, and he has the story.
That's right, it's day 107 of the war between Israel and Hamas. We did join Israeli forces as fighting rages on in the southern part of the Strip, and Israel uncovers new evidence about where hostages were located. An Israeli gunner scans the windows of a building in Han Yunis as troops move toward the front lines of the Gaza Strip. In the heart of a civilian neighborhood, Israeli tanks maneuver through the dirt with firefights in the distance. You can hear there Israeli forces battling.
All right, so slavery continues is the moral of the story. I hope you guys had a good time tonight. Thanks for hanging out. I want to end on 3:33:33. So peace, prosperity, and pineal power, all those good things. Let's let let Donnie take us out. Donnie, take us out. Take us out, Donnie.
Yeah, Donnie.
Let's indict.
Let's indict the motherfucker. I love you guys. I'll see you soon. Much love, brothers and sisters.
Let's indict. You don't mind if I go off script, do you? Most indictments in the show.